holiday weekend on Happy Hour News Talk 93.1 FM. Happy Hour with Greg Bedell on YouTube and Pamela Dubuque.
Who's not ready.
Who's not ready, but sidekicking. And, like today, I actually disciplined myself pretty well yesterday and got a decent amount of sleep. And then this morning, I felt like it was my first show. Everything just felt weird. I'm not sure that I'm much better now. Maybe a little darker, but I don't know about better. So we'll be starting shortly. David Blackman will join us at 3:15. The idiocracy continues to grow. Some of the stupid biazil shmias that I'm seeing about this rain, this flood, this tragedy in Texas, I don't even know what to say. But TDS is clearly a progressive illness if you have it. Just stunning. The ignorance in this, it's mind-boggling to me. Fortunately, that one woman who said they got what they deserved. If they voted for Donald Trump, they got what, F you, bitch. Who the hell do you think you are making a statement like that? You lost your job. And if the world is smarter, and that's a big if the world is smart, you won't work for anybody. You'll be lucky to say, hello, welcome to Walmart. For the rest of your life. What a piece of, well, fill in the blank. That was like, this is what I need to see, right? In the middle of this terrible event. And things like this happen all the time. Where was that woman last year when the victims of Helene were waiting days for aid and then told, well, you didn't vote for the right guy, so we're going to skip you. Blow it out your ass, woman. That's my recommendation. Maybe that'll make you feel better because you're clearly backed up and it's seeping into your system. Ugh. How does this, how can somebody be that sick? Well, that's what TDS is, and it is progressive because we're seeing more and more of this as time marches on. Because what do you got? What's so awful? What's happening? Yeah, Donald Trump's in the White House creating rain and making floods happen. You just get help. You're mentally ill. Really mentally ill. In her case. David Blackman's got some great stuff out today. We're going to take a deep dive on the deep state. This whole Epstein thing. I posted this meme of Ghislaine Maxwell. Now all of a sudden there were no clients.
Yeah, I'm very peeved about this.
Why is she in jail?
Mm-hmm.
Why is she in jail if there's no client?
Guilty of trafficking to no one.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? But this is all stuff that David will help us address as we move forward. I'm already tired. It's so freaking hot.
I know.
And you at least got into the cool. I got into the pool while you were getting into the cool.
Yeah. It was a lot more comfortable in North Carolina.
I actually think I'm getting close to qualifying to be a person of color.
Like Jacqueline said, when I give her the spray tan, I want people to question my citizenship.
Oh, man, Jacqueline, she is an amazing woman. And by the way, when you're going through a life crisis, the more amazing people you have on your team, the better you are. And you can't get more amazing than Dana Delkin, Jacqueline Tomlinson from Delkin Tomlinson, attorneys at law, practicing family law. If you need, whether it's a divorce, maybe you're trying to adopt and running into roadblocks there. I mean, sometimes it's the better things in life you're trying to do, and they make it difficult. Blended families, they do wills, they do all matters of family law at Delkin Tomlinson. And the best part is those are never easy times to navigate. But when you're going through it, having good, solid legal leadership to navigate and lay out the plan. Here's where we're going to get. Here's how we're going to get there. Now just follow the plan. That's what they do. They have hundreds of family law cases tried. The experience is there. But having somebody like that that's got your back, man, you can't put a price tag on that. It's so critical. That's my term, legal leadership. 819-4810 for a consultation. You may not need that kind of help, but maybe you know somebody who is finding themselves treading those troubled waters. If you do, just recommend the number 819-4810 for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
A representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Or the AlabamaFamilyLawyers.com. I think what we'll do here is we'll start out with David loves Jeff Bezos, right? I mean, not really, but the one that we have. We have a new message from him. So we'll have that coming up in just a moment. And Rich's forecast, is this heat ever going to end? And our legal disclaimer. Wow. It's exciting, and it's all coming up.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. For over 21 years, Blue Water Broadcasting has been a proud part of the River region. We're not just a company, we're your neighbors. Our owners, air staff, account executives, and support team all live right here. We believe in this community, and we stand by our slogan, Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. Because when real estate problems cause you uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Give Rapid Fire Home Buyers a call today at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000.
Tonight on the Hallmark Channel, Christmas on the Court. He's a handsome former NBA player who lost his job because of too many missed dunks. She's a beautiful and fit pickleball player who has trouble with her dinks. Will she stop dunking her dinks? Is his dunk sunk? And will they both notice each other's perfectly in shape badunk-a-dunk? Do you have more holes in your head than a pickleball? Of course they will. It's Christmas on the Court. Tonight on the Hallmark Channel.
All right, 312, we'll check traffic and Rich's forecast moment and take a quick look at the market. Well, it's not a good day. I'm seeing a 500-point loss in the Dow. It's probably got something to do with the new tariffs that were announced. The market is so knee-jerk.
Totally.
You know, and remember he's going to kill the market and everything's going to become more expensive. You know, once in a while, it's just good to say, okay, it's down now. We've seen this before. Maybe it's just a knee-jerk reaction. And, one lemon goes over the cliff, they all follow. And then when it's good to get back in, what do? One gets in, everybody follows. That's an oversimplification of a very complicated topic, which is why I always recommend if you want to know about investing, ask questions, maybe put together a plan for your financial future. Invista Advisors is a great start with Brant McDonald and his incredible brain trust there. Reach out for a no obligation, no high pressure appointment at 387-0094. David Blackman next.
Traffic is brought to you by Dylan Rings. Dylan Rings has great watches and beautiful rings. Or have Josh design a piece of jewelry for you. Shop Dylan Rings now at 119 Brown Springs Road. And check them out on Facebook.
Well, I just looked all around the area, Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, not really seeing any issues anywhere. Traffic light to moderate in Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, and of course Montgomery as well. It's going to get busy here in just a bit, but we're keeping an eye on things. We'll let you know if anything happens to slow you down. At McKinnon Toyota, take advantage of Camry leases as low as $329 per month and Tacomas as low as $450 per month. It's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Wendell J., Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the River region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96. Heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Blah, 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 blah. Is everybody done?
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I'm Jeff Bezos. First of all, I'd like to salute everyone who's celebrating the most American of holidays. What's that? Oh, no, not the 4th of July. I'm talking about Prime Days. And if you savings on crap you don't need isn't good enough news, I have even better news. Amazon has passed an unprecedented threshold. We now employ 1 million robots. And I call my robots mini-me's, mostly because they're very low to the ground and, like me, have no hair. And to those chicken littles out there worried that I'm building some sort of robot army that will take over the world, I have 2 words for you. Prime Days! Now go give me your money before you all lose your jobs to robots!
As the 21st century began, natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. A dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
David Blackman and Greg Budell present Tales of the Idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Well, he'll have to come back.
Yeah.
He'll try again.
We did have David. You may have heard him chuckle during the Jeff Bezos bit, but right in the middle of a smile, his image froze.
Yeah. And then he cut out.
And I think it's the heat.
Could be.
I have no evidence to support that theory, but aren't we blaming everything on the heat? I mean, it's just hot and uncomfortable. And today, before I went on my bike ride, I saw my ski hat, my winter hat was sitting out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wow, when will I be able to use that again? I can't wait to whenever it is. So we're just trying to reconnect, right?
Yeah, he's in now. He just came back. Hi.
He's back.
Uh-oh. Hang on a sec.
It's okay.
Good grief.
It's July 7th. We're not in a hurry to go anywhere. And he just froze again.
Oh no. What's going on?
I don't know.
Oh.
He moved.
Oh yeah, that looks a little bit better. There's background noise though.
Are you unfrozen, David? Can you hear us? I don't think you can hear us.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, can you hear us?
Okay.
This man gives us his time.
Oh.
Nope. Didn't work. Because I can't do this myself today.
I know.
I'm not ready for a problem. We don't need a technical. How can we have a problem? I don't get it.
It's got to be on his side.
Well, yeah,
It sounds like there's running water behind him too. It's loud.
it does. Well, we will check back with David in a minute. Maybe when he gives us a high sign. Looking around, I opened with.
No. You can't hear us?
Can you hear us? Oh.
I don't think you can hear us at all.
Is it? I don't see any buttons that are not where they're supposed to be on our board.
No. Whoops.
Well,
here I am.
Okay.
Can
Can you hear us? No, we can't.
Aw.
I've got every
I
green.
can hear you. I can
Oh,
hear
okay.
you. My stupid computer wouldn't connect to Bluetooth, so got to use the old wire. I hate Bluetooth. It's the most unreliable technology ever invented.
I agree. And it usually fails when I finally get it to play something I really am engaged in, you know?
Yeah.
But it's good to be a little annoyed at the start of this thing because there's a lot of annoying crap in the news.
Boy, is there ever.
And first of all, let me applaud the blog you put out a little while ago. That's must read. If you're not currently, look, if you really want a smart, even, balanced take, you should be subscribing to David's blog, period. But the one you put out today was, wow, that was, it seems like such a trite word, but it was heavy.
Mm.
And a reminder
There's
that
a lot of heavy stuff happening, and I'd hoped, I wouldn't be having to write about those kinds of things this deep into a new Republican administration, but it's obvious that Pam Bondi, Kash Patel don't have the moral courage to go after the big bad people. So, we're going to have to muddle through with another 4 years of an ineffective Department of Justice, and that's a shame.
who could be entrenched at that level that not even a determined Donald Trump and team can take them on. They get repelled. This is what really concerns me today. It's like, okay, we'll let you have your moment. Maybe we won't kill you, but we're still running the show.
Yeah.
And don't you forget it,
Well, blackmail's a powerful motivator when you have people you love around you. Blackmail is a very powerful motivator. And, it's just my opinion, but that's what I suspect happens to these people.
Mm-hmm.
They go in with good intentions, but then when, you get that call or random person walks up to you at a reception and says, hey, you're really flirting with danger here. And we know where your children are right now and where your wife is this evening. And
here's the problem, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I put up a meme I got, and this was after I read your piece. And it's Ghislaine Maxwell sitting in front of Jim's noteboard from the office.
Yeah.
They just, put her in the picture instead of him. And the first frame says, if there are no clients, why am I in jail?
Right.
perfectly reasonable question to ask if you're her.
Yeah.
And I've had tons of traction on this already. I only put it up less than an hour ago. And,
And I should have included this in the piece I wrote. Let's all remember who the lead prosecutor on the Ghislaine Maxwell case was. Jim Comey's daughter. Maureen Comey.
The same one that couldn't convict.
The lead prosecutor in the Diddy case.
Yes.
Okay. She is at Department of Justice for a specific reason. I wrote about this last week. It's quite obvious why she still has a job at the Southern District of New York, even in the Trump administration. Because this is her role, to conduct these trials, show trials in a way that ensures no important person's name is ever revealed, and there's no reason for document production of any Epstein files or Diddy lists or videos or anything like that, even if it means Diddy may get a slap on the wrist as a result of all this. That's why Maureen Comey has a job, and that's how the system in Washington works.
It's unbelievable.
I can't stand it.
No, and I don't know that people are going to sit still for this, because based on what I've seen, it's just tangential, kind of feedback, but they're not fooling anybody anymore. People have been awakened to this deep state stuff.
Every reaction that I've seen online to there's no Epstein client list is I would rather know all of the dirt than be treated like I am so stupid that I still believe these lies.
That's pretty much where it is. I mean
every reaction.
Yeah, it's just 4 months ago she was saying, telling Fox News, "Oh, I've got those files on my desk, and I'm just going through them and reviewing them." And then Kash Patel a month later tells, what's her name on Fox, the morning business channel host,
Maria Bartiromo.
In that interview with Dan Bongino sitting next to him, sweating like he's just came in from a football game. We're in the process of heavily, review process, and we're combing through them with a fine-tooth comb and blah, 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 looking down and to the right the whole time he's saying it, so he knew he was lying. And I guess this report is really no surprise, is it?
What a bunch of crap. Yeah, they say they have, thousands of pages and pictures of victims.
Yeah.
Of who?
Yeah, but none of them reveal who the client is, that's on top of them or whatever they're doing.
We have pictures of Prince Andrew, at least, at the very least. There's one.
You're not supposed to remember that, apparently. We're not supposed to believe our lying eyes, and it's just infuriating.
He literally paid someone off. That's a known thing.
David, I followed your instruction in the blog and did not repost the text of what you said, but the people that are commenting on the Ghislaine meme are saying things like, how many remember when AG Pam Bondi said she had the list on her desk? Now the DOJ says Epstein never kept a client list. Why would she say that she had the list? This is really going to reach a point where he may have to can her just to make this go away. I mean, she's
Ken Paxton sitting down here in Austin. He could have been the pick.
And but isn't he going to be
happening if he was a pick?
Is he going to be the next senator from Texas?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I guess that ship has sailed because he's going to beat Cornyn, and he'll easily beat Colin Allred and the general. So,
David, I want to come back to the components. I want to get back to this. I'm going to set this aside for a moment because of your expertise. Another great blog over the weekend, which I recommended to a lot of folks, was your take on the tragedy in Texas.
Oh.
And again, the ringleader of the TDS crowd was that Houston politician. They got what they deserved.
Yeah.
Trump derangement syndrome is progressive. It is a cancer. It is a brain cancer. And these people just say it, really, they got what they deserve.
Charday, what was her last name? Charday something. Anyway, she got fired today.
Well, I
She was
hope.
an appointee. She was part of a commission on hunger food deserts in Houston, which there are some food deserts in Houston. She'd been appointed to that by Sylvester Turner, the former mayor, and current mayor Kander this morning. So at least that happened.
Speak to your familiarity with that area and its natural climate. I've seen pictures of that basin when it's normal, but you can see with all the tributaries and carve outs how that, in a massive amount of rain could happen. Those things do happen though from time to time, and there's even a meteorologist will tell you they can always give you a good idea that it's going to rain. It may be heavy, there may be severe thunderstorms or tornadoes, but we're just not sure how much rain is going to fall.
Yeah,
we had one of those here.
Oh man,
we had one of those here in 2009. A morning rain. It wasn't particularly heavy and it wasn't particularly violent, but it just kept raining. And we had over 10 inches in one day. And we had people that got swept into our sewer system here because they weren't careful. They made a mistake and didn't realize what the consequence would be. But those things do happen. We had a couple in Florida, non-hurricane, non-tropical storm, just little disturbances in the atmosphere that stayed in one place. And I remember 14 inches my first year down there, and they hadn't finished developing. So there were floods that kept people at home for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, in 2012 in Houston, we had what we called the tax day storm. And we knew we were out of our 7-year drought when this storm came through Houston. And it dumped in the neighborhood I was in. My rain gauge, I went and checked it about 3 hours into the storm. It had 9 inches of water in it.
Wow.
I mean, it was raining 3 inches an hour, and it rained for like 12 hours like that. And it was the closest I ever got. I had a pier and beam foundation house that, whose ground floor was up probably 3 feet off the ground. And I mean, we were well up from the street, but we almost had water come in the house on that storm. And we were on high ground too. We were as high ground as gets in Houston. And, it was incredible, just an incredible storm. But out there near Kerrville, it's desert country, it's scrub brush. You get closer to Kerrville, these camps are all west. And so it's out kind of in the transition zone between very beautiful, cypress kind of country, river country, and it's in between there and the high desert of West Texas. And so there's a plateau to the west of those camps where the rivers start. And, the water just comes down off that plateau into all these tributaries into these rivers. And it just happens so fast that the floods are on you before you realize it. And, that's happened many times out there. It's been happening for millions of years. It's not climate change. Like some are saying, there was a piece in the New York Times. It's like clockwork, man.
They can't help themselves. They're sick.
They can't help themselves. It's just ridiculous. And, there is some question about whether some weather manipulation was happening out there. We have had a program in Texas for a cloud seeding program in Texas for a long time that really began in that last drought. And, so there's some question whether or not there was something like that happening that may have made the storms worse than they might have been. But this was a naturally occurring event. And, people need to get a hold of themselves. It's just a horrible tragedy. It's heartbreaking for these families. And I can't even talk about it, man. I really can't even talk about it. It's just awful.
Yeah, the latest total is at 91. It's just, but again, these things happen. And they can happen with natural. They can be, just a combination of oversight. I remember reading the story about a circus tent fire in Hartford, Connecticut, many, many years ago. Probably over 100 years ago, that ended up with a lot of loss of life. And it was just one of those things where everything that can go wrong at the same time did, and it was terrible. But today, something like that, well, they're going to find a way to pin it on Donald Trump.
Well, yeah.
Plane crash in the Potomac. It's Trump.
Budget cuts to the National Weather Service. Well,
yeah.
BS. I mean, National Weather Service put out a flash flood watch 12 hours in advance.
And I read that they had 5 people in an office that's usually staffed with 2.
With 2, that's right.
So,
and they put out an evacuation warning 3 hours before those floods hit those camps. But there wasn't anybody up at Camp Mystic monitoring anything. And so they're going to be in real trouble for lawsuits. You know, I mean, I hate to even talk about that at this moment. But, you know, they didn't have anyone monitoring the weather. So those kids woke up and their beds were already floating.
Yes, I heard that they
woke them up.
Yeah, the water was.
And people get so desensitized to the weather watches that they ignore them.
Yeah. This is true. That's
there are watches put out for flash floods, for thunderstorms, for tornadoes, and we just ignore it like a watch is not a big deal. But a watch means that a warning is more likely to happen than not.
That was blamed for as one of the things that got a lot of folks killed in Joplin during that monster F5 tornado. They had heard the watches and warnings so many times, nothing happened.
Right.
I remember, David, I witnessed an F4 in Chicago when I was a teenager. My brother and I had a very strong interest in storms, and even though we would want to see one of these, the only thing we'd ever seen, they didn't have video then, we had The Wizard of Oz, you know. But that movie has gotten a lot of people into weather. It really has.
Yeah.
So that day, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. It's a sunny afternoon. I'm listening to the Cubs game on the radio, playing catch after school. That's Cubs. That's big enough disaster then. And they interrupted the game with this tornado watch. Well, the sky was bright blue.
That's when it's scariest.
Yeah.
That's when you really take heed.
But I remember we all kind of dismissed it. And then 3 hours later, it didn't even matter what you saw. You could feel it in the air. Something was about to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think in my life, I mean, the tornado was an F4, killed 35 people. When I saw it, David, it was so big. When I saw it, I thought it was about half a mile from our house, because I ran downstairs, got my kid sister, my mother, everybody into the crawl space, waiting for all hell to break loose. It was almost 2.5 miles away. It was headed in our direction, and then it magically veered to about 3/4 of a mile south of our place. But the weather around it was raging like I've never heard it before or since. And I've been through I went through Hurricane Andrew, and not even at its peak was it the rage that came in this one thunderstorm. And again, you know, once you've had the experience, you're not so eager to have it again.
No.
But in the meantime, there is a numbness that takes over when there's ongoing, constant watches, warnings. People stop.
That's right. And you know, the other thing they're overdoing here in Texas, I don't know if it's like that in Alabama, but you know, the Amber Alert system originated here 30 years ago. And Texas is a really big place.
Yeah.
And I'll get woken up in the middle of the night with an Amber Alert.
Those are loud,
that's 500 miles away.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
You know, they've got to find a way to regionalize that, because people just stop looking at them.
Yeah, we don't get those a lot.
No, and when we get them, they turn your phone into a monster. I mean, they're really, really loud. Man, I guess it's good to get your attention.
Yeah.
So,
I'm old, people. You wake me up, I'm up. Stop it.
You know, so TDS makes this an impossible event to just mourn and process as these things happen in life. That's why I enjoy every day you got. You just don't know.
Right.
But instead, it's become a debate on Donald Trump and the Doge cutbacks. I heard this morning that somebody said that they were closing the weather offices at midnight because they didn't have the funding to pay 24 hours. I'm not buying that.
No, that's not.
But this is what they're doing.
But and somebody can say something on the internet and it spreads like wildfire, even if it's not true.
Absolutely
And
not true.
that's the trick the media does. You know, they'll ask that question in a hostile interview. They'll ask a question like that, and all the people watching the show are going to think, well, it must be true. They wouldn't ask the question.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
And there it is on Fox. DOJ, FBI determined there's no Epstein client list. So Ghislaine Maxwell, we'll look forward to seeing you back in public in a day or two because.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. What's she in prison
if she's
for?
got a lawyer.
Yeah, I would be, I'm sure she is in contact. We're going to pause here. We're going to wrap on the Texas tragedy. It's just, in fact, you want to acknowledge the terrible loss, the sadness that the whole state must feel, all of America is feeling. But the complications that now come with it, we got to find a way to blame Donald Trump for this. You know, it's
really a sad commentary on our society. By the way, did my sound get any better when I switched mics?
Yes.
It's better, yes.
Okay, good. All right. I had the wrong mic on earlier.
It's good to see you too.
Thanks. Yeah, my computer just decided to reboot, and then I couldn't get the Bluetooth to work. So anyway.
It's the heat.
You'll
Let's
have
blame the
that.
heat. We'll blame the heat. All righty. We're going to go back to Epstein and the CIA and other operatives. I mean, that's another beautiful ribbon wrap you did today. In fact, now would be a good time to give people your blog address so they can find this gold and read it.
Sure, and I'll talk about it. I don't mind talking about it if you want to. It's davidblackman.substack.com where I write about politics. I also do another energy one called Energy Transition Absurdities. You can just look it up on Substack and you'll find it. Look my
All
name
right.
up.
And we will return with David as we continue our tour of the never-ending American Idiocracy here in just a minute on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV. Montgomery Paint and Body has been around for a long time, over 4 decades. It was not Donnie Turner's plan to open a business. He wanted to work in the business. He's a gifted person when it comes to cars. In fact, I don't know anybody that can rival him in terms of overall knowledge about cars or putting them back together when they've been damaged in an accident. But what separates MPB, and always will, is his personal standard for a job and just the obsession with perfection. It serves you as a customer. So if your car is damaged in a wreck or a little parking lot mishap, whatever it is, when it comes time to pick who's going to fix it, do you want it done or do you want it done right? Assuming you're going to go for the latter, choose wisely, choose Montgomery Paint and Body. Donnie and Son Brandon Turner. It's almost an impossibly high standard to match, but it's there and it'll work for you. And neither one of them hopes you have to show up there with a damaged car. That's the best part. They're really great people, but things happen and they're there for you when they do. 27 Rec with a W for Montgomery Paint and Body. Now let's see who might be needing them this afternoon.
Well, we have a disabled vehicle. This is going to be on Taylor Road right in front of Baptist Hospital. We hope that's already out of the way, but use caution there. Also had an accident reported on Taylor Road right near East Chase Parkway or just before it. That one may also have cleared, but watch out if you're headed up to East Chase Parkway or I-85 on Taylor. And we've got an accident Wares Ferry Road at Dozier Road. Other than that, light to mostly moderate traffic and building all over the area. There is so much going on at Festival Plaza. Stop by World Finance, River Region Ballet, and more. Festival Plaza, Taylor at Vaughn, a Colliers managed development. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Montgomery man arrested for the armed robbery of the owner of the Jim Massey dry cleaning stores has pleaded guilty. 58-year-old Zedekiah Sykes pleaded guilty to 1 count of Hobbs Act robbery, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Jim Massey was beaten and robbed at gunpoint by 4 masked men in his downtown Montgomery office on March 10th. A home in Redland was severely damaged in a fire that was caused by 4th of July fireworks. The Redland Volunteer Fire Department responded to the Jackson Road and Brookwood area Friday night on reports of a fully engulfed house fire. There were no reports of injuries, but the home may be a total loss. A crash on I-85 South in Montgomery County claimed the life of one person and injured 4 others on Sunday. The single vehicle crash happened around 4 p.m. close to exit 16 near Pike Road. The unidentified victim was pronounced dead at the scene. One person was airlifted to UAB and 3 others were taken by ambulance to a local hospital. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia. Puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations since we began in 1906. At CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Live local talk, the River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
New law in Florida advances those who populate the idiocracy.
$500 fine or both. Wow. If you do a second time, it could be 90 days in jail, $1,000 fine or both.
That's Florida. They have a new super speeder law. And if you do more than 100 miles an hour, you can get 30 days in jail just for that.
Wow.
That may put an end to some of the highway. Oh, we have a call, too, here as David Blackman rejoins us on the Idiocracy. It's Barbara. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
I've just got a comment. The deep state is more than just the Congress and some of those people up there. The deep state, it kind of reminds me of the mob.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back in the day, if you were going to tell something, the mob would take you out. And you know, Mr. Holman, and I'm sure others too that I'm not remembering, has been threatened. And I just wonder how many of these people's family are threatened when they're saying, you know, I'm going to tell all this information.
The difference is the mob had rules.
Yeah,
The
well,
deep state doesn't seem to
exactly.
have too
You're
many.
exactly right. They don't care. They will take you out in a heartbeat. We've experienced that, with the Clintons. So that was just a thought that I had.
It's a good one.
Because you start threatening my family, and I don't care what. I'm done.
I really believe, Barbara, thank you for the call. Really.
Yes, sir.
272-9228 if you'd like to talk about this, and we're going to go into a deeper dive here. But David, I'm convinced that at least some Supreme Court decisions were compromised by a justice feeling heat, the threat. I don't know if it was done anonymously or if it was a big pressure group making a lot of noise in the papers or Chuck Schumer saying they get you 17 ways from Sunday. But I really believe that a lot of things have been done in absolute fear of this beast. So how do we get rid of it? Let's talk about the DOJ cover-up of this Epstein thing. And I guess they're doing it to protect important people.
Everybody, probably everybody.
Unless Trump is on the list. I thought he was the guy that was going to be fearlessly knocking down the forest to get through it. Did we lose your mic again? I think we lost David's microphone.
Let me
There we
try
go.
this. Okay, there we are.
Yeah, so they're also doing it to protect an intel community resource and what he uncovered while in that job, Jeffrey Epstein. He was obviously an intel community operative. And that blackmail program he was running, that, of course, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino both talked about before they got into their jobs, right?
Right.
Now say, oh, well, none of that really exists. Yeah, I don't believe you anymore. That's what he was doing. That's why he was engaged in the operation he was engaged in. It's why he had that island. It's why he would have people out to that island. It's why he had paintings of Bill Clinton wearing a blue dress hanging in his living room and George Bush sitting on the floor playing tiddlywinks or something. Looking like a child, those paintings hanging in his home. And it's what he was doing. He was getting compromising videos and whatever other information he could get on very prominent and powerful people for use by the U.S. intelligence community and maybe Mossad and maybe MI6 too. He might have been working for them. And, that's why he could not. He couldn't be allowed to testify in a trial. He could not be allowed to publicly testify.
There is
it's obvious.
a new clip out, at least 1 minute missing from footage of Jeffrey Epstein's prison wing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it cuts out at 11:58:59 magically.
But remember, Bill Barr swore to us that all the cameras in that wing were inoperative that whole night.
Right.
We could not remember that, right? And Ray confirmed it, and Bureau of Prisons confirmed it. And but suddenly, those cameras were operating just fine, except for a couple of minutes there right before midnight.
Your blog this afternoon makes an interesting connection. I want to explore that, but we have a call at 272-9228 from Mushroom.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're all right. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm in good shape. Listen, there are three things I want to mention quickly. One is the whole Epstein business is a severe disappointment by this administration.
Yes.
It's as if there's someone or people, I believe, who are very powerful are being covered for.
Yeah.
Secondly, this is another topic. This was mentioned earlier today on your radio station at 11 o'clock or so by a couple ladies. They mentioned that certain lawmakers have proposed legislation to criminalize the seeding, cloud seeding.
Yes.
I saw that.
You saw that?
Mm-hmm.
That reminded me of like 20 years ago. I used to talk to someone named Terry Adams on this.
Yeah.
This
No, Terry was a part of what we did for a long time.
Yeah, he taught me how to go outside, look up, and notice what was going on overhead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I send pictures to Eddie all the time. Every time I see one of those,
Yeah.
I'm like, guess we can't have a sunny day.
It's just amazing. And finally, I'd just like to say this disturbs me because unlike the first term of the first term of Trump's administration, he would go visit this hermit nation, North Korea, and for some reason, and he would be called out for doing that and saying that he never met a dictator he didn't like. Well, for some reason, things are being really quiet this time around, and I just like someone to look into that. I don't know. It concerns me. Yes.
With North Korea, well, I mean, he's not focused on that yet. He's got a lot of other things he's been working on. I mean, we have to also remember this administration has done an incredible amount.
Yes, that's true.
About
that's true. I'm not arguing. I'm not in conflict or arguing that at all. It's North Korea that hasn't said a word about anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes, and they have.
Mushroom, thanks for the call.
Because they probably don't want to draw Trump's attention to them, first of all.
Yeah. He has a way of acting swiftly, doesn't he?
Right. And Trump has become incredibly powerful figure internationally, on the international scene. And so I'm sure the little chubby over there want attention from him. So
yes,
probably not an accident. I mean, eventually though, Trump will get around to dealing with North Korea, just as he's dealing with everybody else. But it just hasn't been at the top of his priority list. Yes.
Can we address some of the connections you established in your piece today or the similarities between Lee Harvey Oswald, and Jeffrey Epstein, as you laid that out?
So we had this revelation on Thursday of last week. The CIA released documents proving that one of their officers, a fellow named George Ioannidis, was, running he was managing Oswald as early as 1962. That was the document they released showing that. That was happening with Oswald well before then, probably as early as 1959 when Oswald went into the Marine Corps and got suddenly stationed at Atsugi Naval Air Base, where the U-2 flights overflying Russia were taking off and landing.
Right.
And all this supposed functional idiot, little hick from Texas, gets a classified security clearance, and is operating the radar operations for the U-2 spy planes. So right there, he's most likely part of naval intelligence, and naval intelligence at the time was one of the two big intelligence agencies we had, along with the CIA. And the other thing, that I talked about in that piece today was the fact that Guy Bannister, who anyone who's seen the JFK was played by Grant.
Ed Asner, yeah.
Thank you. So Guy Bannister was in New Orleans in the same building where Oswald was operating the Fair Play for Cuba Committee. Guy Bannister was a former station chief for the Chicago office of the FBI, but by then, by 1963, he was, guess what, an operative for the CIA. As early as 1961, Guy Bannister was signing invoices with the name Lee Harvey Oswald for the purchase of thousands of guns that they were running into Cuba to give to the Cuban counter-revolutionaries there, right? So, obviously Oswald was an operative for the CIA throughout his whole military career, throughout the time he went to Russia, defected to Russia, and then repatriated at the expense of the State Department, where he stayed in 5-star hotels.
Yeah. And they thanked him. They thanked him by setting it up to take the fall for JFK.
Right. And so Jeffrey Epstein, you know how Jeffrey Epstein came into his money? He was working in an investment firm, a Wall Street investment firm, and the fellow who managed the fund that he was working for was mysteriously murdered right before he was testified in a trial.
Oh my!
And Epstein just suddenly comes into power at that investment fund. That's how Epstein gets all his money.
Wow!
And there he built that operation, blackmailing prominent people, and he didn't do all that by himself. Okay, he was clearly managed by someone. Anyway, get back to Joanides, right? I first heard the name George Joanides in 1988 when I first really began investigating in earnest the Kennedy assassination in conjunction with Mars, who was an instructor at the UT Arlington, University of Texas at Arlington, who wrote the main book that the movie JFK was based upon. And everyone knew about George Joanides in the researcher community then, because guess what he had done in 1978? He was the deputy counsel for the House Assassinations Committee. Okay?
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah. So there's no coincidences here. There's no accidents about this. Epstein and Oswald were both CIA operatives, and that's why it took 62 years to finally find out the truth.
Unbelievable.
About with the CIA. So maybe in 2087, we'll find out the truth about Epstein's involvement with the CIA too.
Yeah, I don't know if I can wait till I'm 135 years old to find this out. I want to know now. It's not that I'm sick or anything or not feeling well. That guy in the dark suit outside the studio door is not menacing me whatsoever. Kidding. All right, Soldier Boy, you'll be our last call before the top of the hour break with David Blackman. What's on your mind?
Greg, it's kind of interesting about Lee Harvey Oswald. Okay, here he comes. Okay, out of nowhere, and he suddenly is a main target for everybody.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yeah.
And here's another thing is he's awful quiet. I like it when President Trump went over to North Korea to talk to Rocket Boy. He told him flat out, and that he's the first one. A friend of mine says, "I can't believe your president last term talked to a communist leader and everything and starving his people." I said, "Let me tell you a secret, okay?" I said, "If he wasn't in office right now, Mr. Trump, do you know how much food comes from Alabama to North Korea? Unbelievable.
How much?
Agricultural wise." So I told him, I said, every time a dictator gets overthrown in the world, what is it because? It's because of the people, and they're starving. As soon as they become starving, they will not listen to him anymore. Okay? So I loved it when he went over there. And I love it when he said to the Rocket Man, he goes, "Hey, let's make business and not worry about killing people, and I'll keep the food coming."
That may be very well what he did. I mean, he's so far, I'm pretty impressed with how he's doing with international relations. Soldier Boy, thanks for the call. And I would like to know how much Alabama farm production goes towards North Korea, because I've never heard that before.
Me neither.
Not that I'm doubting it.
I'll put it on my list of things to look up.
David, we have so much to discuss in the second hour of our tour of the Great American Idiocracy. Among them, the new Superman movie.
Why?
Well, because it's woke.
Oh, gosh. Of course it is.
They're claiming that Superman is an immigrant.
Yeah. So that'll kill the
Is there anything that they can't ruin? Is there nothing they can't put their slimy, stinking fingers on and turn it into shinola?
He's not an immigrant. He's an alien, like an
even
actual
worse.
alien.
Yeah, and he can't get his green card or clearance from the FAA to fly around the country. Good Lord. You know what? Given the heat and everything else, we have a call. Let's take this call. I'll just move everything back a little bit, David. It's Papa B. You're on with David Blackman.
Hey, David.
Hey.
Greg, Pamela.
Hi.
Hello.
You know, when I hear this DOJ saying that there is no list. What I hear is somebody or somebodies are making a deal. There's some kind of something going on in the background.
Well,
yeah.
And, you know, I mean, come on now.
I mean, but is it really a deal if there's like a gun to their head?
No.
No.
A deal, whether you want to call it a gun to your head or not, I'll give you a deal you can't refuse. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, so somebody's making some kind of deal going on.
Well, yeah.
Just about it. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's
Dave,
just disheartening to think that Trump, who is the anti,
right.
you know, that we're going to get to the truth, the guy that's going to put sunlight on all of this shinola, it's happening under his watch, and that makes me unhappy, and it makes me nervous, frankly. Thank you for the call. We do have to take our top of the hour break. So David, please give your blog address so people can find and subscribe to your amazing work.
Yes, davidblackman.substack for politics, blackman.substack for energy. I write about both every day.
And when you read him, you will want to send him a note at some point when you realize, David, you complete me. I meant that, and obviously having a little fun at the expense of the movie, but really, I mean, just when you think you're pretty well informed, David comes along and says, wait a minute, take a look at this. And that's why I love it. We'll be back with you in just a minute, my friend. Have a refreshing drink or two. Show brought to you in part by Clark's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Have you been outside? Put an egg on the sidewalk. It's ridiculous. And it's usually days like this where AC units are stressed to the max. Everybody needs AC. Something could go wrong. So who do you call? Clark's Club members never have to worry about that. For $180, they've got year-round guarantees of priority service, 2 annual tune-ups to their system to make sure they continue to work, that they continue to use minimum energy. There's a lot of good things to this. Clean, keeping the air in your home clean. And they have an amazing and talented team of plumbers. So on either side of that equation, you are guaranteed immediate service when you're a Clark's Club member. Call 277-2125, one of the best $180 investments you will ever make, because you get 2 visits to your home for that one low price and that guarantee that comes with it. Discounts on parts and labor, too, from amazing, talented, great human beings. ClarkComfort.com for more information, or again, 277-2125, Alabama certification number 09098.
We had several accidents earlier. They have cleared. We do have a brand new one, though. Troy Highway at East Boulevard. Please use caution at the Troy Highway intersection and around Montgomery Traffic's building. Boulevards, I-65 and 85 are very busy right now, and all of our feeder roads outbound. No other issues that we're aware of at the moment, but be careful out there and keep it here for traffic updates. Up to $10,000 off the last of the 2024 Nissan Z cars at McKenna Nissan. There's only one left. It's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Today's show is brought to you by July 7th. You blew off your finger on the 4th. Found it on the 5th.
It's in the bushes.
Reattached it on the 6th. and you're back at work on the 7th like nothing ever happened. Until the tape gives out just as Mary from accounting drops by with photos of her patriotic chihuahua. Cue the scream. Not from the pain, from the outfit.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Crews continue to search for victims of catastrophic flooding that has killed close to 90 people in Texas, including more than 24 campers and counselors from an all-girls Christian camp. With additional rain on the way, the risk of more flooding was still high in saturated parts of the state. Authorities said the death toll was sure to rise. Listeners who wish to help in the disaster rescue effort can make donations to www.salvationarmytexas.org. Stocks fell on Wall Street as the Trump administration stepped up pressure on trading partners to make deals before tariffs were imposed by the U.S. take effect. The Dow was down 422 points today. The Nasdaq lost 188. The S&P 500 dropped 49 points. This is SRN News.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Hi, my name's Neil. I have some advice for you if you've been trying to break free from credit card debt. You can start by doing what I did. Get your bills together and call Trinity Debt Management. Trinity is dedicated to helping people like me become debt-free. When I called, my first experience was a feeling of relief. My counselor was kind, and best of all, she didn't judge me. In just a few minutes, she helped me figure out a plan that consolidated all my bills into one lower monthly payment. This substantially reduced my high interest rates and put me on the road to success. In the end, I saved thousands in interest, and today my credit card debt is a thing of the past.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Neil. Take it from someone who's been there. Call Trinity and become debt-free for keeps.
1-800-936-5496.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Tonight, Hallmark's Christmas in July celebration continues with Christmas at a Slaughterhouse. He's a strapping Texas cattleman with elevated cholesterol and an adorable 5-year-old daughter who happens to be a dedicated vegan. She's a gorgeous biochemist from the big city who's hiding the fact that her newest soy-based beef substitute causes intestinal distress. Is there a chance these polar opposites can find love? Come on, Sherlock. Is this really your first rodeo? It's Christmas at a Slaughterhouse. Tonight on the Hallmark Channel.
Well, now everybody knows what I'll be doing tonight.
My goodness.
Watching Christmas at the Slaughterhouse. And it's all about a dude from Texas, just like today's show, with David Blackman joining us as we continue to. I got to tell you, I saw several things, went back and watched Jurassic Park, the reboot, Dominion. Okay, it came out in 22. What was going on in the 2 years they were making that movie? America was getting woke. Yeah, I was going to say we should probably do that so we can see David. My error, totally. I mean, the idiocracy has to have a leader. Here I am. But to see this director, James Gunn, bragging on the fact, oh, no, Superman's an alien or an immigrant, and what about his rights? And they just can't help themselves. But the casting in some of the movies I've seen recently, movies that were produced after George Floyd, that's when America got woke. It's sickening. It makes no sense. It's stupid, and it's annoying as hell. And now
it really is. Yeah.
Why did they not see the election results? Why are they insisting on ramming this down our throats, even though most of America is relieved? That's the word we keep hearing.
When does that movie debut? The
Friday.
Superman.
Friday at midnight, or
Okay.
Thursday at midnight, actually.
Well, let's see how it compares, how its box office compares with the new Jurassic Park movie,
Yeah.
which grossed 147 million. I think that's the top gross weekend gross. Well, that was 3 days actually. But that's still a pretty good opening.
We saw an interesting story ahead of the 4th of July weekend because all you hear about is barbecues and cookouts and ball games and everything else. And I did all of those things. Our Montgomery Biscuits had a great game. Well, not the final score, but the fireworks afterwards were awesome. And but the fact is, the survey we saw on Thursday said that 42% of Americans aren't doing a damn thing. They don't want to be in the traffic. They don't want to be waiting in long lines. It's hotter than Hades. Let's stay home. Let's enjoy our house. And so it's a good time to release a movie if it, has some precedents that were also successful. And Dominion wasn't bad. It was the 22 Jurassic Park. It wasn't bad, but it could have been about 45 minutes shorter. It would have been much tighter and better. That one just went on. I mean, how many times are we supposed to sit there and believe you came within a distance? And I'm showing it on the microphone here.
Was that the one where they were let out at the end?
Yeah, they escaped, and
yeah,
they showed them flying over the sea to the next island, and all that stuff.
Okay, we get it. All right. Enough edge of the seat thrills and chills. Plus, it's all animated. The funny thing, we watched the credits on the movie, and it took about a full minute in tiny print to thank all the CGI people.
Oh, yeah.
There must have been like 200 of them, working on that film, which is kind of
That was like 80% of the movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Do you remember how stunning it was the first time you went to the theater to see the first Jurassic Park?
Thank
film?
you.
We were talking about that last week. It was incredible.
You are 100% right. That first one, we were almost as taken aback as the people in the movie were at seeing dinosaurs because they look so authentic.
Yeah.
They did.
That first scene when the T-Rex comes out, just awesome.
The last movie also brought back Sam Neill and the woman that he was with in the first one. It was very memorable to me.
Laura Dern?
Oh, was that her?
Yeah. She's
Sorry,
great.
Laura. I don't mean, tell Laura I love her. I just remembered the name. Thank you. Yeah, they reprised their roles in the one we watched over the weekend. And maybe we're interested in seeing the new one in the comfort of my own home. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Elon, is he off the rails? This whole thing.
He's on some kind of rail.
Yeah. Third rail.
Yeah.
I would say
I'm afraid he's snorting too many rails.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Ooh, I like that. That's very good.
Uh-huh.
This political party thing is such a clown show so far. The thing about Elon Musk is we have to be incredibly grateful to him.
Absolutely.
He
No doubt.
saved America when he bought Twitter and
Yes.
turned it into a free speech platform. And so we will be eternally grateful to him for that and support of Donald Trump during the last election and mounting the Doge operation and all those things. But now he's gone completely off the rails. This America Party idea is incredibly stupid. It's going to be an amazing waste of money. And the rumor is he's talking to Mike Pence.
What?
To be the face of the party. And inability to read the room.
David, every day on this show, I find the excitement over bringing back Steve Canyon to be palpable. Oh boy, Mike Pence. Wow. Superhero.
Pence. And then you've got, what's the name of the idiot that owns the Dallas Mavericks, or used to? He sold them.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban and Scaramucci wanting to be a part of it.
Oh, God.
I mean, all the clowns are lining up to be a part of this thing. And it's just, Elon is a brilliant genius.
Yes.
Engineer and tech guy. He is one of the most politically naive, prominent people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand how the government works. He doesn't understand how politics works.
No, he's too literal.
Yeah.
He's very literal about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Absolutely.
too many nuances he doesn't understand.
So it's the America Party?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's the America Party. Yeah.
I voted America last election. Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I as much for all the gravitas that Elon Musk brings to the table, I think what he's going to find out, and some of the others, without Donald Trump, you're really not that big of a deal.
I mean, I like Elon a lot.
Oh, I do too. This
He
makes
needs
me
to
sad.
Find something better to do with his money. He can truly make a difference somewhere.
Yes. But not what we don't need, because here's the thing: this party will not hurt Democrats. They're the insane party.
Right.
That's never going to change. They're going to be the same thing they are every single time.
That's why we had to get RFK under Donald Trump,
Yeah,
because it would have only divided us.
this is true. And haven't heard much about RFK lately. He must not be doing anything they feel like they can take advantage of to smear or whatever. I mean, he must be doing a good job. Because anybody that's doing, I mean, how much do you hear about JD Vance, David? I'm almost,
every once in a while, more than most vice presidents, and certainly more than you heard about Kamala Harris,
yeah,
or Mike Pence. But yeah, it's a crappy job. It's hard to make a lot out of that job.
He was on Theo Vaughn again, his podcast.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, do I feel ignorant.
Sorry.
But
But
back to
that's
Elon Musk for a second.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you were a major shareholder or investor in Tesla right now?
Not very good.
Tesla stock fell 7% at the open today because of what he's doing. There's going to be an effort to remove him as the CEO of that company because of this. I mean, they're already starting to line up, and that's what I'd be doing too if I was a major investor. I'd be just trying to find somebody else to come in and run the company, because obviously Elon is not interested in running that company anymore. He's more interested in throwing tantrums on X and mounting political parties and posting snarky posts about Donald Trump. And it's incredibly, I mean, the company is failing at this point. Their sales have dropped precipitously off a cliff since the fourth quarter last year. They're not recovering. The Cybertruck is a major bust, and that was all Elon Musk's idea.
Yeah.
And, they haven't introduced a successful new model car in like 8 years now. And cars have essentially the same body designs that they had when they were introduced. And so this is a company in dire need of, somebody to come in and run it like a car company again, because otherwise it's not going to be a car company without these subsidies, and they're going away in September. So,
well, I wish he was. I mean, I was glad that he was engaged with Trump and so forth, but and on the other hand, does Trump go overboard in criticizing Elon? Because in some sense, it almost feels like he's forgotten Elon's contribution. How do you see that? Or am I seeing that wrong?
Yeah, I wish he would stop talking about him. He just should say
nothing.
Out of pray and say nothing and stop posting about him at 3:00 in the morning. But Trump is Trump, and he's going to do what he does.
Yeah. So, Elon's got this perception issue that he's got to address with the company and his product, his primary source of income. But how about some imaging problems for people like AOC and Mamdani, who I understand is black now? I mean, I just saw that's what he put on his.
Yeah.
So he's gone from.
He's from Uganda. He was born in Uganda. So, I mean, technically, so was Elon Musk. He's African too.
This is true.
Yeah.
But Elon can be an African American. Mamdani says he's black. I'm darker than he is. So let's get real here. What difference does the color make anyway? I thought we were supposed to be past all that stuff. Have you seen any indication that AOC's stock has been clobbered by the fact that she's been revealed as a Westchester girl, that the whole Bronx thing was a big street charade?
Yeah, I think that's a problem for her. I think it is a problem for her because, to run for president, which is what, she's been, molded to do since, 2018. She has to start attracting support outside the crazy base, right?
Yes.
Because the crazy base isn't going to get her the nomination. She's got to broaden that. And, now that information is out there and that her whole backstory is a complete fraud, it is a problem for her. And I'm not sure she's going to be able to really overcome that. And, the other person who's been incredibly quiet lately, at least I haven't heard anything from, is Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happened to her.
She's gotten very quiet. I mean, it's almost like somebody took her into a room and said, "Knock it off, or you're going to be dead." I mean, that's how quiet she's gotten.
I just don't know. It's weird. It's very strange because that is not her nature.
No, in fact, I'm disappointed because she's always been a pretty big feature on the Idiocracy over the last year.
I mean, how much material have I gotten out of her? It's awesome.
Yeah, no, she's been a gold mine.
She's in timeout.
And I can tell, David, the media thinks they're fooling us, but anybody that pays attention to the news can tell when the Democrats have turned the heat down or taken the spotlight off somebody for whatever reason, whether it's time for a scandal to go away or somebody's phony image is blown to smithereens, as is the case with AOC and Jasmine D. Crockett. It's like, talk about clown shows. That's what the Democratic Party is. What have they got? I mean, if those two go away, I know that I saw an article over the weekend about Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, who's still a Democrat, even though he's got both feet on the ground for the most part.
Yeah, they like him, and they like the what's the guy in Baltimore, the mayor of Baltimore, African American guy.
I don't know. A lot of their mayors end up in jail.
Yeah. So this one had no. I'm sorry. He's not the. I'm sorry. He's the governor of Maryland.
Okay.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they like him too. But he doesn't get any. Emerson College released a preference poll of Democrat voters on Thursday, and neither of those guys was anywhere in the poll. Pete Buttigieg was leading the pack with 14%.
Oh,
yeah. Newsom had 11%. No, Kamala had 11%. Newsom had 8%. AOC had 11%. It's just if that's your choices,
yeah,
then you can forget about winning in 2028. Those are not going to be elected. So
has Buttigieg had any more babies? Is he nursing infants? He's been so quiet.
He grew a beard, so he. I don't know what the point of that is, but he was going to run for. Remember, he moved to Michigan so he could run for governor up there, but now he's decided not to do that. So I don't know what he's going to do.
Any news from Kathy lately?
God, I hope not. I can't even stand it. She actually, that's another one who's been really quiet. It's been a little strange period. I think the Democrats are kind of, trying to assess where to go from here after Trump's, big operation in Iran and then the passage on Thursday. And so it's just been, these last 3 weeks have been this endless parade.
Yes.
Incredible wins for the Trump.
David, how many people has the big, beautiful bill killed so far? Is it in the millions, billions yet? I mean, that's what I heard after it passed.
Yeah, if we asked Rosie O'Donnell, it'd probably be in the millions.
Yeah, no doubt. I do love the Elon tweet that he put out. The official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter is 4 zeros.
Well, I like that. That was
clever. And stuff like this is in David's blog, so get off your butts and subscribe. I'm serious.
You want to hear something about Hochul? I just Googled her.
Oh, sure.
Her press secretary resigned after a sexual harassment incident.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Was it a male that got harassed by her or a female?
No, her press secretary is a male who resigned.
And he was harassed.
No, he was harassing.
Oh, he was accused of harassment
at a bar.
That's what bars are for. Harassing people to get laid. I mean, that's the whole point of it, isn't it? I'm sorry.
Was his victim male or female?
It just says a fellow staffer.
Fellow is the clue word here.
Yes, I mean, Kevin
Spacey, it does expand on that and say it was a male coworker.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically like Don Lemon.
Trouble in paradise, it seems, for the Hochul camp. They're just unbelievable. Wow, it's 4:30 already. We got to take a break here at the bottom of the hour. But David, if you would leave, I just yelled at everybody to get off their butts and subscribe. So now we got to give them a place to go do that.
Oh, yeah, it's davidblackman.substack.com for politics and blackman.substack for energy. Come see me.
You're missing out on some. I love this traveling circus. It's good stuff. Yeah, this is, look, I like to pretend that I'm so well informed and so up on the news. But, David is the guy that glues it all together for me. And I'm very grateful. And we're glad to have him on the air with us today. And we'll be back with David in just a moment. Georgia Floors Direct has been a flooring destination for over 50 years. But year after year, we have an election here. Not every 4 years, but every year, consumers are asked to vote in the best of categories in all types and styles of businesses that offer products and service. Year after year after year, they don't campaign. They don't have to campaign. But year after year after year, Georgia Floors Direct wins this competition because they've been doing it right since the get-go. The best selection, 30,000 square feet of flooring, marble kitchen countertops, and window blinds. A staff that put together and assembled the manager of the year, Jeff Ballinson. He's also now the owner of Georgia Floors Direct. But if those of you who know Jeff, you know exactly what I'm saying. But if you haven't met him, I hope you do, because you're going to come in contact with somebody who is supercharged with the customer service gene. That's just the way he is. And he's put together a staff that embraces that approach with people. Yeah, it's great to have the products. It's great to have a wholesale price. It's great to have top-notch installers, the best installers. But it's that magic that really makes it seals the deal. Plus, they save you time and money. Hardwood tile, laminate, luxury vinyl, plank, flooring, more than you can even dream. Mountains of carpeting, all in one location on the boulevard across from Lowe's, a flooring destination since 1969. 1819 News is next at 4:32.
Well, we had a couple of earlier accidents that could be still lingering. Troy Highway at East Boulevard and Vaughn Road near the Winn-Dixie just before Taylor Road. Everywhere else, light to moderate traffic this afternoon. We're not seeing any other issues other than just building traffic with folks getting off work. Interstates, boulevards loaded up, as well as all of our feeder roads out. We will keep you updated. Come by Thompson Tractor and check out their incredible selection of used equipment. See the machines that get the big jobs done. Thompson Tractor off I-85 just past Taylor Road or ThompsonTractor.com. Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Jack Ingram Nissan. Shop now at jackingramnissan.com.
1819 News.
The tragic flash flooding that occurred in Texas this past weekend has taken the life of an Alabama child. 8-year-old Sarah Marsh of Mountain Brook was one of the 23 girls reported missing from Camp Mystic after the flooding started. Camp Mystic is a Christian summer camp that's along the Guadalupe River where the flooding is occurring. The death toll is at least at 79 since the flooding started on Friday night. Over a dozen helicopter and drones have been deployed along with other rescue teams on the ground trying to help find those missing and affected by the floods. Texas Governor Greg Abbott offered an update on Sunday.
I had the opportunity yesterday to visit Camp Mystic and get to see firsthand what happened there, as well as all the way downstream after that. And it was nothing short of horrific to see what those young children went through. And we will remain 100% dedicated, searching for every single one of the children who were at Camp Mystic, as well as anybody else in the entire riverbed, to make sure that they're going to be recovered.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
An investigation is underway in Talladega after 4 adults were found dead inside an apartment. 3 males and 1 female were located after the female's grandmother called police for a welfare check. The cause of death has not yet been released in this case. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
In the market for a used car? Visit jackingram.com to view our selection of luxury, domestic, and imported vehicles. With 8 locations and online at jackingram.com, Jack Ingram Motors is sure to have the perfect car for you.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Recently, I met with 3 different owners of homes who had the same problem. They wanted to sell their house quick and sell it as is for cash. All 3 people were approached by different investors that said they had cash for their home, signed contracts, only to find out they were not personally going to buy their homes, but to find a buyer willing to pay more than they offered and pocket the difference. It's called wholesaling. Offer a contract to buy a house at a certain price, up to price to other buyers, and pocket the difference. I urge you, don't fall for it. You want to sell your home quick, use a licensed professional realtor, as I have been for 48 years, keeping promises to get homes sold quick. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225. Call Bo Goodson at 221-2883.
Your home's first impression starts outside, and Gateway Exterior Cleaning, Lawn, and Landscaping is here to make it unforgettable. From spotless windows and power wash driveways to house washing and roof cleaning as well as landscaping, they do it all. Residential or commercial, they've got you covered. Call Gateway Exterior Cleaning, Lawn, and Landscaping or visit gatewayexteriorcleaning.com for a free estimate. They offer 0% financing, 3 to 24 months for flexible payments, and a 15% discount for first-time customers. Gateway Exterior Cleaning is your gateway to a cleaner, brighter home or business. Call today at 334-467-5480.
I'm Stephanie Bryan, chairwoman of the Porch Creek Indians. Tourism and hospitality are more than industries to the Porch Creek Indians. Providing a warm welcome is part of our heritage. It's central to who we are. From Atmore to Aruba, we've created more than 20 unique travel and tourism destinations, providing unforgettable guest experiences and life-changing career opportunities for our tribe and our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Hey, this is Robbie Clark. Stay cool with a tune-up with Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give us a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hey, this is Peaches and Clean, powerful carpet cleaning. You have commercial property, offices, or rental units? Give us a call at Peaches and Clean. We can clean and restore your carpet and bring them back to life. Give us a call at Peaches and Clean or peachesandclean.com.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Oh.
No one, by no one, okay? Now, you said that there were truckloads of evidence and thousands of hours of footage which show nothing usable in court, nothing incriminating, no? They show nothing. There's nothing on there? Yes, that is correct. The cameras from the prison, they were originally broken. They were broken. Yep, they were broken. And then they found footage that was accidentally deleted. Technical error. But then you found new footage, which is definitely not AI. Definitely not AI for sure. I see the memo specifically points out that there was no blackmailing of prominent individuals, no client list, and among these thousands of hours of footage and truckload of evidence, there is zero incriminating evidence. Zero.
Yeah. Okay. That's the story of the day. That little thing is found a convenient place to hide. Hey, let's have a summer weekend in Chicago. Let's go up there and get shot. They're starting to approach the same kind of, I mean, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump, because when Barack Obama, Mr. Chicago, whoa, let's go to Kaminsky Park. It's Kaminsky, idiot.
50 people shot. 50
people. Imagine that. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Our mayor must be envious. 6 killed over the 4th of July. I'm sure they were all celebrating our independence and our founding father.
That's all it was, yes.
No doubt about that.
Parent shots celebration. It was fireworks that got them on.
Hey, for those of you who are deeply depressed because PBS funding may be going away, somebody may be around to save it.
Yeah.
And it's the usual suspects. What do they got? I mean, they own Elmo. He's a billionaire puppet. Just like Elon. Why can't they survive on their own like the rest of us have to in this business?
Right.
So the 2 senators from Alaska, Dan Sullivan and Murkowski, they're against it, getting rid of PBS funding because sometimes they claim PBS is often the only channel anyone can get in the rural communities of Alaska.
Oh,
great. Does anyone believe that?
That would explain how Murkowski keeps getting elected. Well, we're getting some
absolute nonsense. It's just complete nonsense.
It would explain how Murkowski keeps getting elected, though, if all they can get is PBS.
Yeah.
No wonder they like her. Man. All right, we got one caller at 2729228. It's Cameron. What's your question for David, Cameron?
I would like for David to comment on, I'm just one little old guy sitting out here in my backyard, but I believe the United States is turning slowly like an oil tanker, but we're turning toward, away from nonsense and towards sense. I'm a hopeful man, but I believe it's happening.
Oh, I do too. I do too. I'm just really in a bad mood about it all today because of the fake Epstein report.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Overall, and it's a point I tried to make earlier that they have done an amazing amount of good stuff in just 5.5 months.
Oh, it's stunning. It really is.
It really is stunning. They've accomplished more. Really and truly, I bet if you could find a way to add it up, this administration has already accomplished more positive good for the future of this country than the Biden administration did in 4 years.
Well, it was never about the country with those people. It was about them. Thank you for the call. We're still having some feedback issues here on the...
Yeah, we can hear us on your side.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
There's some little fly in the ointment here. It's not bad enough to shut it down, but Which brings us to the latest star in the Democratic universe, and that's Mondani. We touched on that briefly because he's now decided he's black and not just an African person who's in America. But even it's the same New York Times that perpetrated a fraud on Trump with the weather in Texas. Even they're concerned to the point where they're not really excited about him becoming mayor of New York City. But why stop there? Why not put him on the ticket? Because we'd have Obama on steroids then with full-blood socialism and everything else.
Exactly. And I just, they've gone back through his social media and found all the statements he's made in the past about, quoting Karl Marx and, how he's a true believer in Marxism. And, there's not going to be, I think the editors at the New York Times realize that there's not going to be any real way for them to cover for the guy. Okay. Because he's been too outspoken, too open about his true political beliefs. He's a communist. He's a true believing communist. And that's a big problem. And I don't know how they solve for it, to be honest with you.
History is filled. It would be a fun topic to explore sometime. Why are really intelligent people attracted to communism? I mean, you think about the folks that got sucked in Hollywood back in the 30s. They were all people that wanted to make money. So why do they so easily buy into it? They feel guilt about their own wealth, about the good life they have. They want to throw it away. I don't understand this at all. It's bad.
A lot of it's like, you see all those foundations for all the billionaires, and they pass on to the second and third generation, and all the kids and grandkids feel completely guilty about, they inherited all this wealth. They're kind of useless in their own lives. They're not productive, and they get to feeling guilty and decide, we're going to go fund a bunch of left-wing causes. That's why you end up with the Rockefeller and Getty foundations funding all this climate alarm BS. And it's a lot of white guilt. It's a lot of white guilt. That's why the whole subscriber base for the New York Times now is concentrated in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. That's and in the news media, which is also, populated with a bunch of young white people with a lot of white guilt. I think that's a big cause of all of it.
It's very distressing. Trump has said that he is happy with the FBI investigations of his 2 assassination attempts. I know we're going back to something we've touched on earlier, but specifically him now, after discussing Epstein and Oswald as obvious deep state assets. Donald Trump is not a deep state asset. He's a threat to it, of course. But do we believe him? I find that off-putting.
I was switching out my headphones at Slothman's
I think
advice.
Yeah, I think that is the difference.
Yeah. So, so tell me again. I'm sorry. Ask me the question again.
Well, do we really? I mean, I never want to call Trump a liar. I don't. Why would he lie? I mean,
about that. Well, just
the FBI investigations. Yeah, that he's happy with the result he's seen.
See, I think he just wants to get it off his plate. He's clearing the decks because something big is about to happen.
Oh.
And I was about to write a piece over the weekend that I didn't write. And now I'm afraid by the end of this week, I'm going to regret not writing it because the headline of it was, we're about to start seeing some big arrests.
Oh, you think so?
And again, this transparently fake. Yes, Mark, I can see the comments. Mark Cumby just asked if I can see people's comments. Yes, I can. And I think the Epstein report, the FBI report on those assassinations, and some other things that have happened recently I've been accused of being really good at pattern recognition, which is why, and I think that's probably right because, I'm old. I've got a lot of experience. You gain some perspective if you pay attention. And just seeing some patterns in how the administration is communicating, the things they're doing, that indicates to me that maybe we're about to see the Department of Justice kind of kick into gear and start making some arrests of some very prominent individuals, like, say,
Fauci. Oh, John Brennan. I would
Yes.
oh man, I will cater this show if they can set it up to arrest him at 3:00.
That report released by John Ratcliffe and the CIA, naming Brennan, James Clapper, Jim Comey, and even Barack Obama as people who organized and perpetrated the Russia collusion hoax. And then that turned into the coup d'etat effort that lasted throughout the first Trump presidency.
Yeah.
That's what kicked this thought process off in my mind. And I got a feeling that, as angry as I am about that Epstein report,
yes,
and Trump making those comments about the FBI clearly fake investigation of those assassinations, they're just trying to clear the decks here and get ready for maybe what they consider to be phase 2 of this presidency, which will be to put a lot of people in jail who needed to be put in jail a long time ago.
I want everyone listening to mark this down. This man is a visionary. This man is a great analyst.
Not a visionary.
No, David, I'm sitting, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, why didn't I think of this? Because it does seem like something, it's not Donald Trump's style to not have another, red piece of meat to put out in the public. And those guys got to be, they got to be sweating bullets because it's serious.
Yeah, particularly Comey and Brennan. Well, and Clapper too. I really doubt they'll go after Obama in that way, but at the very least, all three of those men are guilty of perjuring themselves in congressional testimony repeatedly, time after time after time. And I don't think there's the statute of limitations might technically have run on criminal charges because of that, but you can be certain that there were investigations opened during the first Trump presidency into those questions about perjury, and if so, then there's a 7-year statute. The statute got told at that time, and then the statute of limitations hasn't expired, and so at the very least, it wouldn't shock me to see Department of Justice file perjury charges against all three of those men. And then Comey, with the 86-47.
86. Yeah, because I haven't heard much about that since that happened. Since those seashells magically gathered, I think Ariel, the Little Mermaid, arranged that on the beach.
Yeah.
Or some communist like Sebastian the Crab.
Yeah. He's a commie, that damn crab.
Gotta be. He's a socialist. That man, that just and it hasn't happened yet, but it's already making me feel good. Does that make sense?
Well,
It really
Sticks
does.
fan says, with all due respect, nobody's going to jail, no damn body. That's swamping too deep and corruption runs deeper. Yeah, and you may well be right. I kind of go back and forth.
I'm feeling that way today because I just am so tired of the lies and.
But that's what they want. They want us to be tired. No, that's all right. Let it go. We can't do that. He can't. Trump cannot do that. He is, at least with these characters. And is Fauci another name on the list that could be in trouble?
Oh, I would so hope so. There's already been criminal referrals to the DOJ about Fauci but from both Rand Paul and from Chuck Grassley, Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley. And so those criminal referrals weren't but 2 or 3 years ago. So they're clearly still sitting there, nothing having been done. And DOJ could act on those anytime it wanted to. And the Senate, when it comes back after August, I mean, they're going to come back for another week or two here in July, but then they go out for August. When they come back after August, there's going to be a big, set of hearings about Fauci and everything that happened during COVID. And he's going to be called to testify under oath, and we'll see what happens there.
I can't wait. David, we're going to segue into our baseball segment now before we wrap up. And I got to tell you, the Yankees are making me crazy. $300 million. They're being outplayed by the Chicago White Sox and the Marlins and teams that got $300 million worth of stiffs.
And now they're 3 games out of first place all of a sudden.
That's they've lost 14 out of 18 with that collection of misfits. It's disturbing my mental health, as you can probably tell. Yeah. But they did finally beat the Mets on Sunday, so
they did. Yeah, that was a good game. Actually, I got to see some of that. But of course, at the same time, the Dodgers were getting swept, lost 18-1, the worst loss they'd ever had at Dodger Stadium Friday night against the Astros.
The Astros, the Astros are a pox. I hate them. Ever since that 2017 cheating thing with the garbage can and bang the drum slowly.
Mark Cumby said they were stealing pitch signs again.
They're what?
Mark Cumby said they were stealing pitch signs again.
They're 20 games. Oh, I'm shocked because they lost 2 of their best players in the offseason.
Yeah.
And now, excepting for the Tigers, they got the best record in the American League, which makes no sense to me, and I hate them, and I think their uniforms are ugly.
They are incredibly ugly. Them and the Padres.
Yeah.
Those brown things are they're so ugly.
I did not, because I really did have a very active weekend. I did not see that the Dodgers lost 18-1.
18-1. Yeah, we gave up 10 runs in 1 inning. Had a rookie pitcher that had just come up from AAA, and Robert sticks him in the 6th inning. It's already 6-1 or something like that, and he figures this is a lost cause game, and so he sticks this rookie in there and makes him pitch the whole inning. Gives up 10 runs, and then he got sent back down again. So.
Now I understand why one of my baseball podcasts was criticizing the Dodgers for doing that to a guy they brought up from the minors to take that kind of a horrible loss, giving up all those runs.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers aren't going anywhere. The Padres aren't the real deal. So
no, neither are the Giants. Honestly, I'm surprised the Padres lineup is so terrible. I mean, terrible. They put Manny Machado on the All-Star team, and that's a joke. I mean, he's having a lousy season.
Yeah, for him.
But he is Manny Machado, so he gets the votes. But, yeah, I'm surprised by the Padres. The Giants, you knew they were going to collapse at some point because their roster is not good. It's just not a strong roster, even with what's his name from the Red Sox going over there. They've lost like 8 out of 10 with him.
Yeah.
Since he joined the team. So anyway,
a lot of managerial firings this year. Washington just blew out their general manager and manager.
Yeah.
And one thing I don't see is baseball attendance. I know, of course, we know the Dodgers are selling out, and the Yankees and Mets and those teams draw pretty well because they've got stars. But I don't know how the game is doing overall. I can't really tell.
I don't either. When we got newspapers and you had a sports section, you'd read all that stuff. All those stats would be there. And now you got to kind of go out and look them up and sort things the right way before you can get to what you really want. It's just too much of a pain in the butt for me to do anymore.
And Rob Manfred, the commissioner, needs to be unwoke.
Oh, God, I can't stand that guy.
He is the epitome of the kind of garbage that was foisted on us after Oh God, pardon me. I don't want to say anything from John Cryer. Oh, it's the president who's doing everything he can to damn the. You a-hole, just go away, please. Yeah,
So
rich liberal
Mark Cumby-
celebrities. Go
Mark
ahead.
Cumby asked me if I'm a Longhorn fan in college, and yes, I am. And he's an LSU fan, so he's fixing to start taunting me here.
We're working on Mark with this now, so let's give him time.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll come around.
I'm surprised he'll admit that in Montgomery. Gosh, if you're not a Tide or an Auburn fan, you're in trouble.
Well, the worst fan behavior I have seen at any event in my time here was LSU fans.
They're
But
very
that could
rowdy.
Yeah. Big drinkers.
Have you
too.
ever been to their stadium in Baton Rouge? It's an
No.
amazing place.
Is it?
Oh,
Mm.
it's incredible. It's incredible. It's the wildest place I've ever been on a football trip. It's just phenomenal. I love Cajuns though, so
Yeah.
it's my favorite
Yeah.
culture.
I'm in New Orleans just about every 6 weeks. So I've really, really come to embrace the culture there. It's almost apolitical. Oh, they did elect a Republican governor finally.
They did, yeah. He's a good governor too.
Yeah.
I've known his family for a while now. His sister-in-law. I've worked with her on a couple of projects. It's a good family. He's a good man. He was a great attorney general, and he's a fine governor.
Good. They need it. But the folks in New Orleans, I mean, the thing that I love is everybody's warm, friendly. They don't care. Nobody's asking political questions. It's just, okay, just be. And that works for me. David, we thank you so much, as always, for your time on Monday. And once again, we'd like you to sign
you.
off with your blog address so people can find your amazing work.
Well,
And
thanks
I'm
for
not
having me. It's a highlight of my week. And I'm at davidblackman.substack, for politics, blackman.substack, for energy, and Slothman's middle name is Guidry, so I guess he's related to Ron Guidry. That's good to know. That's a Cajun name, yeah. Anyway.
And Guidry, the Louisiana Cajun.
Great.
And I hope you will follow up on that piece you were going to write.
Yeah, I might have to now that I've talked about it. I might as well go ahead and write it. Right? I can just I'll download the transcript for this show and I'll just publish it.
You can inspire. Yeah,
Just
there you
have
go.
AI tweak
There
it
you
a
go.
little bit.
That's it.
Exactly.
Our eternal gratitude, David. Have a great Monday night, and we will talk to you Thursday. We're good.
Absolutely. See you then.
Awesome. All
See
right,
ya.
my friend. Thank you. What a guy.
No, I love Mondays.
William is on line one. Good afternoon.
You know, you guys were talking about baseball, and I'm a baseball purist. But I'm 71 years old. But I have to admit, I have grandkids. And the biggest thing in baseball now is banana ball.
Oh, the Savannah Bananas.
Oh, the Savannah Banana.
Oh, that is filling the stadium.
Yes.
It filled up Boston Stadium.
Yeah.
That is entertainment.
Yes.
That's not a bunch of filthy rich guys
Yeah.
south of the border.
Uh-huh.
These are guys that want to play for the love of the game, and
Yep.
put it on an act.
You should listen in the morning because I work with somebody who is
They're doing great.
constantly bringing them
See,
up.
that's what the kids want to watch.
Yeah, because it's like TikTok meets baseball.
Yeah, good point. No, you're right.
Well, okay.
That's what
all I
baseball
wanted to say.
needs.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say, Greg. Thank you.
I'm glad you did.
It is bringing people back. And
Yes.
maybe it'll get people interested in traditional baseball.
And it was great to get a call from a baseball fan.
Yeah, a purist.
About 10 years ago, I did a whole show registering local Major League Baseball fans. We had 23.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, maybe we're making progress. We'll have to do it again. AMS Studios in Prattville, a great place to get your weekend sun damage checked out.
Ah,
I actually have something I would like to show you. A couple of, well, that doesn't sound nice.
a spot.
A couple of things that your technologies may be able to help me with. Yes.
You know, I had 2 clients 2 years ago who I sent to dermatologists, and they ended up finding early skin cancer and getting it taken care of.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. So take care of your skin, folks.
Yes. In the meantime, if you would like your skin to look better, rejuvenated, even, there's all kinds of things they can do for your skin to help you with your complexion, with your face, your weight. It's a total body option at AMS Studios. who, by the way, brings you the movie Maven, who will join us at 5:35, Ellen Murray. Yeah. So many things to talk about. Spoilage features at AMS, like massages and facials.
Yes, my favorites.
It's okay. You know, here's the thing. A lot of people will not give themselves permission, especially women, to indulge themselves in something they really want, they really deserve, because they always think of somebody else first.
Yes. We just posted on Facebook today and said self-care is not selfish.
It's not.
It's not.
It's really not. And I would encourage, if you got somebody you want to do something special for, a gift certificate for AMS is a great option. You can do that at the website, ams-studios.com. Reconfiguring your body. There's still plenty of summer left. You want to get out and enjoy. I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I paraded around in my bathing suit unabashedly this weekend.
Good.
And I owe a lot of that to you and the encouragement. And, you know, it was really great. It was really great. So all of these things are possible, and there's nothing wrong with getting a little help to achieve your personal goals. You can do that at AMS, and we'll talk more about it next hour. Right now, we've got to get ready for Brant McDonald coming up at 5:15 with a story on that big drop in the market.
Well, we have an accident reported 4400 Selma Highway. That should be right in front of the airport. Please use caution there. Other than that, very busy traffic. Interstates, boulevards, all of our feeder roads out of Montgomery loaded up this afternoon. Buckle up, be safe. We'll keep you updated if any accidents happen that are going to slow you down. Up to $6,000 off the last of the 2024 Nissan Frontiers at McKenna Nissan. It's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
With Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott. Stocks fell on Wall Street as the Trump administration stepped up pressure on trading partners to make deals before tariffs imposed by the U.S. take effect. The S&P 500 lost 0.8%. The Dow gave back 0.9%, and the NASDAQ composite fell 0.9%. Tesla tumbled as the feud between CEO Elon Musk and President Trump reignited over the weekend. Musk, once a top donor and ally of the president, said he would form a third political party in protest over the Republican spending bill that passed last week. The Dow was down 422 points to close at 44,406. The NASDAQ lost 188 to 20,412. The S&P 500 dropped 49 points to 6229. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
There's nothing that will heat up the summer more than a hot deal from Pizza Perfect. The perfect family fill-up in July is a free order of boneless wings with the purchase of any large pizza. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet that includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Get a free order of boneless wings with the purchase of any large pizza from Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Men, you are under siege. From the minute you hit adulthood, stress, bad sleep, junk food, screens, pressure, it all chips away at your testosterone, your energy, and yeah, your confidence. But no one tells you that. And no one tells you the benefit of screening early when you're younger. Research has found that maintaining optimal hormone levels prevents severe men's health issues later in life. At Montgomery Men's Health, we fight for you. The tired dad, the high performers running on fumes, the gym grinders, the man whom online pills have failed. This is for every man, young and old. Forget pills from apps or emails. You need a real medical provider, a clinic that'll fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Guys, the future is local. Real clinics, real specialists, real answers. Testosterone results in minutes, not days. Montgomery Men's Health's friendly staff is on standby, ready to tackle your ED, your low T, and enhance your life. Call right now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Montgomery Men's Health, making it happen.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
When it comes to selling your home, would you trust your biggest investment to a part-time agent? Someone who might treat your sale as a second priority? Not us. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader. Real estate is all we do and all we've been doing for over a decade.
That's right. We work around the clock to make sure you and your investment are top priority. We're top producing agents with a highly respected reputation for results, and we'll treat you and your sale with the respect and time you deserve.
So if you're thinking of selling, call or text us at 334-368-6358.
And let us show you how real estate is done.
They curl up at our feet. They greet us like heroes. Pets aren't just animals. They're family. But right now, so many in our local shelters are still waiting for someone to call their own. That's why we're teaming up with River Region Humane Societies for our annual Paw It Forward Pet Drive. And we need your help. Starting next week, help us stuff the Sprinter van with food, toys, blankets, and badly needed supplies at any of our 6 sponsor locations. Together, we can give these animals the comfort they need while they wait for the love they deserve.
To find out how you can help, visit newstalk931.com.
Rock and roll!
Let's rock.
Those guys rock! Let's rock this joint!
Rock and roll music.
She likes to party. She likes to rock.
She's hot. She's in charge. She's ready to rock.
Rock and roll.
You're like a rock star.
Rockets.
Let's rock and roll.
Welcome to Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp.
Rock and roll.
I like rock. I like some country. I don't like polka.
Party like a rock star.
And you are listening to the home of rock and roll.
I gotta rock and roll.
Yeah! Rock and roll! Ooh, I feel it!
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Authorities in Texas say at least 89 people have died in devastating floods in the central part of the state. The victims include 8-year-old twin girls from Dallas, an Alabama elementary school student away for the summer, and a grandparent who had been reported missing while on her way to work. The flooding originated from the fast-moving waters on the Guadalupe River on Friday. Authorities say search efforts are still underway for children at a summer camp attended by hundreds of girls. Listeners who wish to help in the disaster relief effort can make donations to SalvationArmyTexas.org. President Trump on Monday placed a 25% tax on goods imported from Japan and Korea, citing persistent trade imbalances. More details at srnnews.com.
How about this? Some actual good news on the healthcare front, even as costs just keep skyrocketing. So if you're 65 or older, MediShare now offers MediShare 65 Plus. Call them. You can talk to them about this. A lot of people are taking advantage of this now because even if you have Medicare Parts A and B, you know there are out-of-pocket things, deductibles and co-pays that just keep going up. And the whole point is to help you by giving you a low, consistent monthly payment that fills in the gaps. In fact, I can tell you how much MediShare 65 Plus is. For example, it's $99 a month up to age 75. It keeps costs under control. That helps with peace of mind. MediShare is trusted too. It's been around for 30 years, and it's a community of people who help each other. Business owners, retirees, pastors, teachers. People love being part of it. Here's the number you can call now. They are easy to talk to. Call 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE 55. 833-SHARE-55.
I always feel tired after we talk to David on this show, David Blackman, because he gives us so much to think about. Meat on the table. And I'm especially fascinated with the notion that he anticipates something major happening soon. Let's not forget, too, and this is on the dark side of the ledger, we're almost at a year since they tried to kill Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. I'll never forget that afternoon at a kid's birthday party, 1 minute here, the next, talking about something that was surreal. That's the nature of news. You never know what's going to break next. The movie Maven will join us later in the hour and talk about some numbers. And I'm very pissed off that this new Superman movie is going to get political. That's just so unnecessary. And if there is, in fact, an attempt to boycott it, count me in. I was thinking about it until I saw that story today. Superman's an immigrant. Don't you have any feelings? Insane. I'm feeling the heat. Man, it's a scorcher today, and I'll tell you where the thunderstorms are building up in just a moment. First,
the Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Some big thunderstorms well south of the river region, and they are raining themselves out. So right now, it looks like a rainless night.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
It is 5:16 after looking at a lot of green in the markets over the last several weeks. Today was not that kind of a day, so let's go to Mr. Right on the Money, Brant McDonald, and find out what happened today. How are you?
Hey, Greg. I'm doing well, yeah. You know, a lot of red today, right? I mean, you look around at all the indexes, everything was down. It looks a little worse, I think, when you look at the broad indexes and their activity today. It looks worse than what you actually would see with the underlying sort of fundamentals of the indexes. And what I mean by that is, you know, certainly we've seen the news. Trump's extended this tariff deadline. He's threatened many countries. In particular, there are 14 of them, most of them over in Asia. You know, they seem to be, many of those countries seem to be hard-headed about this and won't bend. And so Trump is hitting them much like he did back in April. And I think that kind of spooked the market a little bit, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. I think you look at the market activities, we got this tax bill passed, which is what as I've said all year, this is what the market really wanted to see more than anything else. I mean, more than anything, was the pro-growth sort of agenda that Trump had talked about so much. And they got it passed, which is a really big deal. Now, as we've said in the past as well, I don't think that this is going to impact the economy right away. It's probably we won't see the effects of it really in force probably until around the first quarter of next year. But in the meantime, the market doesn't want to hear a whole lot about tariffs. I just think this time around, everyone is kind of wised up a little bit and feels like, okay, Trump's really going to hit them hard with this. And if they don't deal and they don't negotiate and come up with a final deal, then they're going to go into effect. But all in all, I think it's more of it than anything else. We've had a nice run because of the tax bill getting passed and the anticipation of that. I think that the market was probably primed for a little bit of a small sell-off here, so this is not surprising to me at all. I think the bigger issue, and this is the one that everyone's going to be really focused on, I think it's going to be bigger news than anything with tariffs or anything else, is that now that this legislation is passed, Scott Bessent is going to have to go out and borrow an additional $1.6 trillion. It's going to be a record, and it will smash prior records for $1.6 trillion in a 6-month period of additional debt. And the market is bracing for that. And when I say the market, I'm really talking about the bond market. And so we'll see what impact that has. The interplay, and this gets complex, but one of the things we're monitoring closely is sort of the reverse repo positioning with these banks, the TGA, the Treasury General Account, having to replenish that, which is because of how they've been operating under extraordinary measures, and the sheer volume of debt that they're going to come to the market with. Now, Bessent says he's going to borrow it all in the T-bill market. Now, this is what Yellen did in 2024. But that's a dangerous thing. It's not something we can continue to do long term for reasons that we probably can't go into on this show. That's at least a 1-hour in studio conversation. But the bottom line is that's where we are. I think this a little bit of a sell off today was really a lot of bluster. Nothing real serious going on. Rest of the week, though, Greg, we do get some earnings announcements that I do think can move the market as we start to get into some of the really big bellwether names that are in the Dow, the S&P, and this will continue not just for the rest of this week, but on into next week as well. That's going to be far more important in terms of determining market direction, I think, than this tariff discussion. So anyway, it was nice to see the bill get passed, and hopefully we can turn the page now and get on with business. I hate this thing that Musk is doing. I really do. I wish he could just let it go, but for whatever reason he can't.
Hey, do you hear rumors that Elon's chairmanship of Tesla may be in danger? David Blackman was speculating on that. Because the company's got issues and he's busy here and there with his new political party, which sadly makes me laugh, that the board of directors of Tesla may want somebody else doing that job.
Well, it's possible. I mean, this comes up all the time. I think the more important question is the role of CEO. And that has come up often. His chairmanship does as well. But look, this is who Elon is. I mean, he's all over the place. He's been this way his whole life. We had these same discussions when he acquired Twitter. The board of Tesla was highly concerned and thought that he was taking his eye off the ball because he was spending so much time at Twitter. And maybe he is. But I will tell you this. I certainly think he needs to probably get out of politics for a little bit. He needs to spend time focusing on these businesses where you've got real shareholder capital at risk. And so for the board of Tesla to be concerned, I think they have every right to be.
Awesome. I appreciate the insights on that. I overall, I hate to see. I mean, Elon was very critical, in making Twitter a real free speech platform, and bringing people to Donald Trump. You know, again, another former Democrat like Trump, like so many others in this administration who have seen the light and, you know, said, hey, we're not interested in the left-wing turn you guys seem to be making. So I'd like to see them patch it up. And it seems like Trump has tried, but Elon's, you know, he gets a laser focus and it's hard to break.
You know, it all started when Elon got the black eye, and there were some strong rumors that went around of a kerfuffle or whatever you want to call it in the White House. Who knows what the story is there?
Yeah,
I know that he and Scott Bessent, you know, didn't really hit it off. And you know, look, I mean, the problem is Elon's got a huge ego. He's an incredibly bright, very smart person. He's hard-headed, and so is Trump, but Bessent is too. So you can't have three in the room doing it. And certainly, Elon, you know, there were times where I felt like he was almost acting as if he was the, you know, Trump was President A and he was President B. And that's just, you can't have that.
No, there can only be one. Brad, thank you so much for your time, my friend. We appreciate you, and we'll talk tomorrow.
All right, y'all. Have a great evening.
You too.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Some of the vehicles we discussed at Jack Ingram Signature Used Cars were sold over the holiday weekend. Lots of people buy cars then, do a lot of that kind of stuff on the big holiday weekends while everybody else is partying or picnicking or doing whatever. That makes it easier to accomplish some goals. Just about everything we discussed last week at Jack Ingram was sold. But there's plenty of options left for those of you looking for a pre-owned vehicle. And of course, the one thing, the question that hangs over any car that's been pre-owned, pre-loved, whatever term you prefer, is, can I depend on this? I want the vehicle, but am I going to get reliable driving miles? Well, nobody in that business does a better job than the Ingram family in weeding out the losers before they go on the floor. That's just the way they go about it. With the Carfax Vehicle History Report, the mechanics are told, go through this thing and look for a reason to not sell it.
Do you want to share your screen and show us what they've got?
You know what? What a great idea that you just had that I should have had before you did. Now that you mention it, but yeah, because I am scrolling right now.
Let's see.
The one that jumps out at the moment is this 2016 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Mercedes luxury is timeless. My daughter had a 2017 for 4 years. Loved it. And here's the best part. It was in such great condition, you'd never know what the year was or that it was even pre-owned. That's Mercedes, the touch of class, the company, the vehicle that comes with all the bells and whistles before anybody else has them. They're there. And luxury is timeless.
Will you hit OK on that black bar?
On the black bar. What am I doing?
At the bottom.
Hit the
Just
OK.
to get rid of that.
Oh.
There you go.
Good idea.
Then they can see more of your screen.
If you're looking for an SUV, they got a 2017 Ford Edge SEL. That's a nice compact SUV, very fuel efficient, low miles, $15,987. If you're looking for a sedan, they got a Chevy Malibu around that same price. And a Mercedes-Benz GLE 350, the SUV with those very think of all the SUVs on the road. The Mercedes has the most recognizable angles. Mm-hmm. It does. It kind of gives the vehicle an edge. $16,997. And you've got options like a Kia Soul, sedans like a Nissan Versa, and so many more. I'm just checking to see if they're trying to tempt me here with a Nissan Kicks, because that's a fun little machine. Mm-hmm. And so many more. More cars under 20 than anybody else, but you can shop in any price range you want. Mercedes-Benz, Porsches, Volkswagen, Volvos, Audis, and Nissan at Jack Ingram SignatureUsedCars.com. The movie maven is beckoning us. She's coming up shortly.
Well, we have an accident, I-85 northbound. This is going to be just before Forest Avenue at Jackson Hospital. We've got a fire truck on the scene, multiple vehicles. They are against the center divider. And we've had a real slowdown there as they've been moving emergency vehicles. I think they're about to try to get everybody off on the right side of the road. A little bit of a backup there that's going to cost you a little bit of time. Everywhere else, we're very busy this afternoon. We've got several minor accidents. They're not really causing any problems, but traffic flow is very heavy all over the area. Are you searching for a new journey in your life? Trentham State has over 30 degrees from 6 weeks to 2 years. Lots of scholarships and financial opportunities are available. Go to trenthamstate.edu for more information. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Mr. Electric. At Mr. Electric, they have the power to make things better.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. The State Fire Marshal's Office is asking the public to help provide video of a fireworks explosion that injured 6 people on Lake Martin Friday night. The incident happened near Kalija around 9 p.m., where a pontoon boat that was being used as an unauthorized fireworks platform resulted in an onboard explosion. The state of Alabama has scheduled the execution date for a man convicted of killing a convenience store clerk during a 1997 robbery. 49-year-old Jeffrey Todd West will be put to death on September 25th for the murder of Margaret Parrish Berry. West took $250 from the Etowah County store where he once worked before shooting Berry in the back of the head. New surveillance cameras are being installed throughout Montgomery's downtown entertainment district. The cameras will be monitored 24/7 by MPD's Strategic Technology and Resource Center to enhance public safety. It's not yet clear exactly how many cameras are being added or the total cost of the project. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
We're a customer service company that does electrical work. Landscape lighting, backyard lighting, you name it. If it involves a wire, we handle it. Peace of mind made easy. That's what you get with Mr. Electric.
Mr. Electric, the power to make things better.
I'm Jeff Bezos. First of all, I'd like to salute everyone who's celebrating the most American of holidays. What's that? Oh, no, not the 4th of July. I'm talking about Prime Days. And if huge savings on crap you don't need isn't good enough news, I have even better news. Amazon has passed an unprecedented threshold. We now employ 1 million robots. And I call my robots mini-me's, mostly because they're very low to the ground and, like me, have no hair. And to those chicken littles out there worried that I'm building some sort of robot army that will take over the world, I have 2 words for you. Prime Days! Now go give me your money before you all lose your jobs to robots!
I love those. 531. This, courtesy of our great virtual producer, Mark Cumby, from the Austin, Texas Firefighters Association. It brings the Austin firefighters no pleasure to report to the community that the Austin fire chief denied the deployment of Austin firefighters to Kerrville until very late into the event.
Oof.
Austin is libtard town in Texas. I'm not apologizing for that, by the way. I'm not. Even a red state like, well, look, I mean, I think most of America is red, but we've got these crackpot cities led by real maniacs. Look at what might happen in New York. I mean, what more do you need? That they make these kinds of decisions. It's just, we were all sickened and horrified to read what that woman in Houston did. She's been fired. Good. I hope it was worth it. And I hope you never get hired by anybody for the rest of your miserable life.
What was her job?
She worked in the mayor's office in some administrative capacity. But she basically said, hey, you Trump supporters, you got what you deserved. making judgments about the kids in this camp and everything else without even looking into it. Just assuming it's just white kids. So what? That's how it came off. I mean, as callous and uncaring as anything I've ever seen. Hopefully, no, they don't learn. I would like to think they do, but they don't. They really don't. The movie Maven will join us in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk dinosaurs, Superman, and Sandman.
What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Porch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Porch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at porchcreekindians.org.
Put the power of Action 8 News in the palm of your hand. Download the free Action 8 News app to stay on top of breaking news wherever you are. Search for WAKA News in your app store to download the Action 8 News app today. Keep your family safe by watching Action 8 News. Look for 8 on Your Side consumer alerts with product recalls involving cars, food, children's toys, and other items in your home. 8 on Your Side, keeping you safe only on Action 8 News.
Tired of surprise pest problems and surprise bills? Pest Pro Services now offers subscription pest control, a simple, affordable way to protect your home year-round. Bundle pest protection, termite treatment, and mosquito control for one predictable monthly price. Great for budgeting. No stress, no pests. Locally owned, always reliable, Pest Pro is Central Alabama's trusted pest control team. Find them on Facebook or visit ppsriverregion.com. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you got a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96. Heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Our movie Maven, Miss Murray's Movie Minute, brought to you by AMS Studios. Relax your soul, refresh your mind, renew your spirit. With AMS Studios, 119 East Main and Prattville, ams-studios.com or call 730-1268. We now welcome the movie Maven, Ellen Murray.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Oh, we've had an afternoon here. It's been busy. Lots of heavy stuff on the plate, so it's nice to take a break and get away from it all and vacation in some place remote like Jurassic Park.
Well, as we know, the new one is out in the theaters now, Jurassic World Rebirth. And so you and I watched Jurassic World Dominion, which was the last one before this one.
Yes, and I had not seen it. Now, my real issue with that movie was way too long.
Yeah, I think there's an extended version too that you might have watched rather than the other one. And I found out later that I think all of the Jurassic Park movies are on Peacock right now in anticipation of the new one. So
Oh, I'm gonna have to do a little
something
binge.
to know.
No, I'm absolutely with you in recommending checking out. Was that Thunder?
I don't know.
I hope it was.
Very loud.
Because if it wasn't Thunder, we've got another issue going on
Yeah.
somewhere in the building. Sorry about that, Ellen. I mean, personally, I could have gone in and edited that down to about an hour and 40 minutes, I think. But And I think they get carried away with the CGI. It's too easy to make these amazing scenes. When they scrolled the credits, do you notice there were like 5,000 credited animators on that movie? That's pretty.
Yeah.
How do you coordinate all of that?
From what I've read, I think the new one is kind of a lot of the same. It's like they've got this great idea that they did an amazing job on back in 1993, and they're trying to recapture that magic, but they just have like, oh, let's do more of the same and hope that it will get the same result, and that doesn't work in the movie world.
I have an idea, and I'd like to run this by you and Pamela. May I do this?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be racy here, but the one thing they haven't done in these amazing dinosaur movies is replicate dinosaur sex. And I think, now think about it. You have, and especially with today's sound, this rhythmic crashing sound, and they can't figure out what's causing this. It's making the Richter scales go off. And then they finally,
Don't they lay eggs?
doesn't somebody have to fertilize the egg? I mean, I was thinking of a couple of brontosauruses, just, wouldn't that, I mean, that's life.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all that crazy.
That would be
Pamela's looking at me like, okay.
I don't know.
Note to self, have Greg tested before Friday.
Mark Cumby said they need a dinosaur rodeo.
There's that too. Yeah. Good thinking, Mark, and thanks for taking the heat off me for a minute.
It almost feels like they're making up the dinosaur names now. They're like, it's gigantic. What do we call it? How about Giganosaurus?
Yeah, that works, right?
I don't know if they're real names or not, but I was kind of a little skeptical for some of those.
I don't know if you're listening Friday on the morning show. There was a survey of American people. What are you doing this holiday weekend? 42% of the people said nothing. I mean, they weren't going to picnics and outdoor activities. So the movie, I think, benefited greatly as a, cool option to do something. And it did very well at the box office.
Plus Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. Wasn't he in it?
He's in the new one.
Yeah.
By the way, you turned me on to a review of the movie that was extremely negative. Who is that? That was a real production. But do you remember the name of that guy?
Oh, The Critical Drinker.
Oh, The Critical Drinker. You got to check that out.
It's funny.
It's very funny. But
this is this very cynical British guy who's
very.
just like, don't even bother. Just watch the first one again.
Yeah, right. Moving along to yet the next blockbuster. I can't say
Try
blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. Superman coming out midnight Thursday. And the director comes out and says he's politicized this one. Why would he do that?
What an idiot. If you want to absolutely alienate half of the people you want to bring in your $700 million to recover from the gigantic, almost $400 million they put into making this with the publicity.
Really?
And he's going to go, and people in the flyover states where Superman is from in Kansas are going to be like, what? I don't want to watch a movie about a guy politicizing the immigration aspect of it for his own personal whatever. Like, what is he even thinking? What an idiot.
Yeah, that was, and I'll bet the people that have money invested in this probably weren't too happy with it either.
No, I bet they weren't.
Because I'm seeing stories about nobody's going to go to the theater with a sign and protest. They're just not going to go.
Well, why couldn't he, if he really had to say something so dumb, why couldn't he have waited until like a couple of weeks after box office opening weekend and let people go see it and decide for themselves before he had to come and tell them what kind of woke crap that they're in for?
Yeah,
they don't have any sense.
That was another.
And this is the other thing that kills me. In his statement about it, he's like, it's about kindness. If you don't like kindness, then screw you. Like, those are literally his words.
Hey,
Superman is literally
Talk
an
about
extraterrestrial
tone deaf.
alien, not an illegal alien. He's from another planet. There's nothing based in reality about this.
He went into another country to like save people without the country's permission. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Really? There's that? This
Why?
is dumb.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Why doesn't he have ICE agents come and arrest Superman and Throw them in a hole so AOC can make a photo op out of it.
Superman 2027.
Oh my gosh.
They're killing the franchise. That's what's going to happen.
Apparently.
It's already dead.
I was stunned when you made me aware of that. That was just unbelievable.
The comic book movies are over. They've been played out.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The last Marvel movie didn't do much. But what else is
By the
on
way,
the tube that we can...
I just want to mention that Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I just can't take that kid seriously. And they're coming out and saying he's like the new internet boyfriend because he's like looking all dapper and some new outfits. No, sorry, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, Lex Luthor, if he could have done it, I would have cast Telly Savalas in that role in the George, not the George Reeves, Christopher Reeves Superman back in the 70s. Talk about what else do we have as options that you've checked out and want to recommend or not recommend?
Well, last week I mentioned Ruby Sparks that I was watching where Paul Dano writes his girlfriend into being, and it's sort of a reflection on when you have your perfect dream girl, she's still not going to live up to your perfect expectations. So he tries to tweak her and change her into exactly who he wants her to be, but it just ends up ruining everything. And so it was actually a really decent movie, but kind of end up hating the guy and hoping that she never speaks to him again. So
rooting against him.
I mean, but but that's not how it ends.
Is that one you'd recommend people give a try?
Yeah, I mean it's romantic, it's sweet, it's kind of clever, and it's not a brand new concept or anything, but I think it's well done. Yeah, and it got good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes too. It was 79, 75.
You also mentioned that you were going to check out season 2 of The Sandman.
Yes, so Sandman is something that I hold dear to my heart because I've read all the comic books and had them for many, many years now. So for me, it's really cool to see the stories that I know come to life, but it's very dark, very sort of brooding character who's the ruler of the dream world and all of his siblings. There's some, serious wokeness to it, and there's some cancel culture mixed in because Neil Gaiman is on the outs and he's the creator of it, and he's, accused of all kinds of terrible things. So I imagine this will be the last season of it, and they're putting it out in 2 parts. So the first 5 or 6 episodes are out now. It's on Netflix, and then the next 5 will come out on July 23rd or 24th. And then, yeah.
I never heard about the comic book. Did the first season live up to expectations?
Yeah, first season was really good. It's really elaborate. I mean, the plots are really intertwined, and there's a lot of characters, and it's mythology and history and old gods and immortals and all kinds of good stuff. So, I mean, if you're into that, definitely check it out. If you've read the comics, it's well worth the watch.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of ground today, and we will look forward to catching up with you towards midweek.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
All right. It is 5:46. That was brought to you by AMS Studios. What did we miss in our last conversation about AMS that we might want to mention now? And when am I due back?
Anytime now.
We're having a bowling event Saturday.
I know. I have to work.
Oh.
I know. I have clients.
Well, that's the point in advertising.
That is the point, yes.
So you're busy.
Yep. But
I was just looking forward to another chance to watch the kids,
I know.
have all the fun they
Well,
do.
Remy's not back yet. She's still with her dad, but the next one that we do, we'll bring both of them.
Well, since you're talking about clients, what are some of the services? I mean, I'm sure in your business, given especially the scope of all you offer, there are trends that take place.
Yeah, well, I was just going to mention what I am doing this Saturday on one client is a surgical scar improvement.
Mm-hmm.
So we started out with microneedling, which breaks up that scar tissue, just like it does in acne scars on the face.
Right.
It just boosts that collagen and breaks up the tissue so that it can get blood flow. So it doesn't look like a scar. It gets more of its skin back into it. And after that, we did a session of IPL because we're trying to blanch the scar. It has a deeper tone to it than the client wants. So we're doing 3 IPL sessions, and the second one is this weekend. So hopefully,
I'm a big believer in that, as you know.
yeah, yep.
As you know, I will follow your instructions.
And that, I mean, is a plan that we can do for scars and stretch marks. And that's something unique and a more advanced service or group of services that we offer. But I have a client who is coming up on, she had surgery 18 months ago to remove a spot of skin cancer that was in her scalp. And she lost hair in that spot, and there's a scar there now. So we are going to do a revision and use microneedling to break up that scar tissue so that her hair will start growing back. So that's another good thing that microneedling does.
I have a scar that I may want you to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see it. But I see it more than most people do.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you about it, at least see if there's something. But all of this at AMS Studios in Prattville, friends. Look them up online at ams-studios.com or call 730-1268 to consult. I mean, you have some awesome options here above and beyond a surgery for self-improvement. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's 5:48. Here's traffic.
Well, we had a minor accident, Highway 80 out by Montgomery Regional Airport. We understand they are just now getting somebody out to that accident. It is minor, though. Just watch for it as you pass Montgomery Regional. We've also got an accident, I-85 northbound just before Forest Avenue. They are about to clear that one, and traffic is moving a little bit better through that area right now. It was against the center divider, so just watch out for those folks as you go by if they're still there. Buckle up, drive carefully, still very busy everywhere. Festival Plaza has it all. Visit the Montgomery Cardiovascular Health and Fitness Center and more. Festival Plaza, Taylor at Monet Collier's Managed Development. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Let's face it, what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. Here at Adams Drugs, we love our customers. We're here with Al and Amy Steinecker, Adams Drugs customers. Amy, please tell us how easy it was to transfer your prescriptions to Adams Drugs from the big box store.
It was one of the easiest things I've ever done. I went into the pharmacy on Vaughn Road and spoke with the pharmacist and told him we had not been happy where we'd been and would love to transfer our prescriptions. And he said, I'll be happy to call them. And that was that. And now when I call, I just say I need to have a prescription filled. And it's just that simple.
Al, what has your customer service been like at Adams Drugs?
It's amazing. You walk in, you're not standing in a line. They speak to you, call you by name, and say, what do you need today, Al or Mr. Steinecker? It's wonderful. It doesn't get any better.
Please come into any Adams Drugs location and let us earn your business. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
When you need a renovation without the complications, call 5 Innovations today.
Rub-a-dub-dub, do you have an ugly tub? For those looking to upgrade their bathroom with safety and style, Bath Innovations of Alabama has the perfect solution. Their bathtub to shower conversions and walk-in bathtubs are designed with accessibility in mind, offering easy entry and slip-resistant services for peace of mind. Plus, their stunning mildew-resistant high-strength polymer wall systems add beauty and durability, transforming your space from dull to delightful. Bath Innovations' expert team ensures a quick, hassle-free installation, turning your bathtub into a beautiful, accessible shower that enhances both safety and comfort. Take control of your bathroom safety today. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama locally at 271-2723 or visit bathinnovations.com.
When you need a renovation without the aggravation, call 5 Innovations today.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Tonight on the Hallmark Channel, Christmas on the Court. He's a handsome former NBA player who lost his job because of too many missed dunks. She's a beautiful and fit pickleball player who has trouble with her dinks. Will she stop dunking her dinks? Is his dunk sunk? And will they both notice each other's perfectly in shape badunk-a-dunk? Do you have more holes in your head than a pickleball? Of course they will. It's Christmas on the Court. Tonight on the Hallmark Channel.
Where everything has a happy ending. Isn't that nice? Hey, this is, I thought about you this morning.
You did.
On this story that the new trend is women not wearing makeup on first dates. It's like, here's the real me, take it or leave it.
I think you're still the real you, even if you wear makeup. I like to wear makeup.
That
How,
is
how would it
profound.
not be the real me?
I that is incredible. I love that.
Right? I mean, why?
This is why she's an awesome partner on the show, man. Because
I mean, I don't wear a ton of makeup.
putting makeup
but
on does not change your personality.
No, and I mean, if you're trying purposely to hide and deceive someone by changing your appearance, that is a personality flaw. But if wearing makeup is just who you are and you like it and you feel good wearing it, how is that not the real you?
I like that. I like that around. Yeah, putting makeup on doesn't change. I mean, do you think
I mean, if I was, missing teeth and wearing dentures and telling you they're my real teeth, or I had a huge,
right?
I don't know. I don't think that makes you not you.
I loved
but
your reaction to that.
Yeah.
I may bring it up tomorrow as I fearlessly confront a cougar. You never know how she's going to react. I'm at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Guess who's on the phone?
No.
Randall.
Oh my God, Randall, it's you?
See, Randall?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey!
It's so good to hear from you.
Been missing y'all too.
Oh, we've been missing you. Everybody asked, where's Randall? I thought, I don't think he likes my show no more.
No, that had nothing to do with it. You would know more about what I had to go through than anything.
Yes.
You got to take care of your mental health, folks.
Absolutely, you do.
And I just got way off deep, and I was just needing to call back. That's what the doctor said. Said you know all this stuff about this radio you talk about, but do you look up your medicines you take? And I don't. You know what I mean? I hadn't, but that changed the way I was thinking. So I got to looking up that, so looking up stuff that would get my mind going in different ways.
Well, there's a lot of people that love you and have asked about you, and I want to extend the big, zealous welcome to hearing you again, and I hope it's the first of many times. Problem is, it's 5:56, and I got to run. And
I got.
Hey, we'll be here tomorrow, though.
Yes. Along with
Call
Master
tomorrow.
Thespian, why don't you call earlier tomorrow so we can spend more time with you?
Yes, sir.
Please? Promise?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Hey, we're on YouTube now, too.
Yeah, you can watch us on YouTube.
Ooh.
Happy Hour with Greg Goodell. Check it out.
Yes, sir.
All right, Randall. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
Well, that made my day. It really did.
We were just talking about him last week, I think.
Yes. Awesome. I was going to say I was on the Montgomery Men's Health website, and they have so much information on low T. What is low testosterone? What causes it? The important thing is they can fix it here. This is a place. There are guys that won't go on a first date because they're afraid of failure. This is crazy. This is a place that has helped thousands of men restore their love life, their sexual vigor, and libido. All of this is connected to this T level, which without even realizing it can sink to levels that can interfere with your ability to live life to the fullest. For $99, you can get that test and the results and a plan to fix it and get back to being you. That's the best offer on the planet. $99? Come on. It makes such a difference because low T turns up in everything from poor sleep, not losing weight, gaining weight. Obesity can be a big cause of ED, and this is what they treat. It's the whole you. It's Montgomery Men's Health, and not just men's sexual health. Have your life back in the biggest possible way. One phone call, 334-440-3663, 334-440-3663, or online at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals. I love a man who's got good taste in chocolate.
Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate!
Everybody out at once. What does that mean, out at once? I mean, I know what it means, but that doesn't make any sense. We'll explore it tomorrow. On behalf of Pamela Dubuque, David Blackman, Ellen Murray, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning with Rich Thomas. And,
Adios, muchacho.